Okay, so what's happening now? Are we broadcasting? I think so. I'm a little bit early, so I'm not going to make too much of a fuss. Slightly early. But give me a sound test anyway. I'll just listen through these. This will tell me whether I'm... Yep, I'm... Hello, Hunley. Gotcha, Hunley. Hola. Hola, Hunley. Hi, Mary. How are you? How you doing? I'm a little bit early, just a couple of minutes. But you just said, hello, Clausum. That's good. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. I've got some notes. I won't. Thanks, Freedom Vigilant. I've got some notes and things. I won't start reading them until 9 because I'm about 2 minutes early. Hi, David. Thanks for joining me, all of you. Much appreciate you. All right, Mary. Oh, might have to change my name to Queen of Typos. Oh, that's right. These things happen, don't they, Mary? Yeah. I think I'll start by... Hey, Mary, I'll start by going through my notes. Thanks, David. I enjoyed it. It was good to do that. I say enjoyed. It was quite a disturbing live stream. And I mean, this one's going to be a lot disturbing as well, because this is kind of a follow-up to the last one. The last one was, of course, about the possibility of the attacks on Syria. And this is now... it actually happened. UK Com S65. Hi, HQ Coms S65 from Glastonbury. Oh, one of my favourite places. Welcome. I think it's 9 a.m., 9 p.m. now. So, hello, Diego Rivera. How are you? Hi, Steve. Welcome, Steve. I expect there's a few more people will be turning up. We had someone who couldn't... I'm just going to ask on Facebook, actually. One moment. I'll send her a link. Hang on to this. I'll actually send everyone a link, like to various people. I'll just send her this link. Here we go. I'll just share this also. I'll share on Facebook. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to share on social media. I don't want to click the things. Let's go like that. Here we are. There's one. And on Twitter. I'm just going to share it on Twitter now. On Gab. Just put it on gab.ai. All these different social media platforms out. I'm swear one of them will just come out on top eventually, I'm sure. But at the moment, there's like loads of these alternative social media things, because it's just like there's a bit of a kind of like there's like a big bundle after the failure of Twitter and Facebook and everything. Okay, so where am I now? Hello, Julian. How are you? Welcome, Julian. And TK, hello. DJ Blackwell, hello. And your name is Henry. Oh, I found you via the MIB video on my street. Ben Mead Road, Kidlington. Oh, DJ, hello. Or Henry, sorry, Henry. Yes, that was interesting what happened in your street. It wasn't all those weird Chinese people turning up, supposedly Chinese anyway. Mel O'Brien, hello. Donald Cook and oh, that's the ship. Say hi to Roger. Hi, Roger. Hello, Bill. And hello, Emperor Mong. Greetings. I love you, Emperor Mong. I thought I'd get in there first this time. Hi, Richard. SIG, Ben. Oh, cool. Right. Oh, well, the first order of business is probably the sad news. Several of you mentioned this in the comments under the notice, which I should read. Actually, I didn't read them last time. I'm perfectly sober. Oh, you're sober, Emperor. That's good. But Art Bell died. I heard about this, yeah, and I'm very, very sad about that indeed. I've written a little obituary to him because he was just he was someone I was just so fond of. I mean, hello, hi, GJB2. Art Bell was like a legend. He was, for anyone who does broadcasts on conspiracy, paranormal, UFO radio, he's just like the godfather and the mentor and the original, isn't he? And I mean, Art Bell was doing in 1984. He launched Coast to Coast in 1984. Hi, Sorenable. Welcome, Sorenable. 1984, appropriately. And he's one of the first people I listen to. I mean, everyone comes to him, don't they, eventually? I mean, in terms of the radio shows and things like that. Everybody eventually finds Art Bell. Now, it was just very, very sad. I mean, that when I found out, it was quite sudden. Hi, Anthony. Hello. And Paul Armstrong. Hello, Paul. Welcome, all of you. And I just found out that he died. I didn't realize he was ill, but he was. And but he had, like everyone, he had David Icke, and he had regulars like Linda Moulton Howe, and he had George Carlos, and he had Richard Hoagland, all the big names he had up there. And the thing about Art Bell, he was never a shock jock, was he? He was always a gentleman. He was always calm. He was always polite, and he never changed that. And he did his whole shtick from his house in Pahrump, Nevada. That's right. And HQ says Daryl Sims has had a hip replacement. Oh dear, and he has a stroke. Oh dear. So Daryl Sims is not well either. I'm sorry to hear about that. Oh dear, it's not nice. Hi, Taj. Taj Investigates, organizer of AwakeCon. Hello. Well, welcome all of you. Welcome. I'm glad you can get here. I don't know if Tina is Tina online now. Oh dear. I'm trying to get another blonde on the show, but another blonde is couldn't log in yesterday. Can you log in this time? I don't know. I've sent her a link anyway. Let's just see if she can actually get it. She'll probably pick it up at some point and join us. Anyway, I'm just going to go through the reason I called this live stream. Hey, it's Gareth, Mindset Central. Hey, Gareth, how are you? Oh, my good friend Gareth. Yeah. Now, I'll just talk about what's happened and everything. Let's go up to the top of my notes here. I've got a lot of notes to go through. I'll go through those before I read your questions, because I'll get through as many of your questions as I can. But of course, the reason I've had this live stream, the last one was on Friday night, and shortly after I came off the air, the America, UK, and France launched missile strikes on Syrian government facilities in retaliation for a suspected chemical weapon attack on the town of Douma the weekend before. Okay, so Trump went on TV, said he'd ordered strikes on targets associated with chemical weapons capability. And there was some videos. I picked this up in the morning when I got hold of the news. I picked up the news where it said that there was reports of explosion near Damascus, the Syrian capital. And there was some video of lights across the sky and big loud bangs like thunder. Some of the missiles were shot down, and you could see these anti-missiles streaking up into the air to take out the Tomahawk land attack missiles. And of course, all this time, the Syrian government has insisted it never used chemical weapons on Douma. The whole thing was fabricated, and in last Friday's live stream, I explained exactly why I agree with that. And this has resulted in an absolute tirade of protest, but mostly just online and in all the alternative media. There have been no sort of protests through streets and things like that. And well, why would there be? As I was saying in the last live stream, it didn't do any good before. In 2003, there was a protest of 1 million people through London. I went on it against the prospective attack on Iraq and Afghanistan. And not only did the war go ahead, but Blair was re-elected in 2005. Just 2 years later, he was re-elected. And I think Stephen Molyneux put it very well. I know I referred to him again, but he was saying, public opinion is just like some insane old man walking through an empty asylum, and the government, they have our money. That's all they want. They have our money to produce these weapons and use them. We can say all we like. We can shout at the wind. We can protest. We can yell and spit and stamp our feet. Makes no difference. Public opinion is just like this. It's just become meaningless. And Trump went on TV and said the Douma attack was carried out by a monster. this alleged chemical attack. Even the BBC are honestly saying, that it was an alleged chemical attack. Excuse me. It's been carried out not a man but a monster. That's something he took from Alex Jones. And he appealed to those who were seen to be supporting Syria's President Assad, Russia, Iran, to think about who they stood by. And he described Russia as guilty of promoting rogue states. What country wants to be associated with mass murder, he said. Now, Russia said on Friday they had irrefutable evidence that the incident in Duma was staged with the help of the UK. And, well, I explained why I think there is irrefutable evidence, but certainly there's zero evidence that it actually happened the way the mainstream is saying. And the UK called this allegation bizarre and a blatant lie. Why is it bizarre? Why is it bizarre to say this suggests that the Duma attack was faked? I explained why I thought that it certainly was faked. They had the area under siege. Once the army surrounding area and you have it under siege, it's a standard military tactic. It's as old as there has been organized warfare. Someone inside a siege can never ever win, because basically you have limited ammunition, you have limited food, you have limited clean water, etc., etc. You have limited medical supplies. It's only a matter of time before those things run out, and then you have to surrender. You have to come out with your hands up, or you can do what they did at Masada and commit suicide. The defenders at Masada about 2,000 years ago, they preferred to die than surrender to the Roman army. But you certainly can't win once you're under siege. So the idea of using a chemical weapon against these people is completely and utterly superfluous. It is wanton destruction, and it is the kind of wanton destruction which would undo all the good, from Assad's point of view, all the good that he had done. He'd spent 7 years fighting an incredibly destructive civil war, which he's on the verge of winning. And the last thing he needs is international condemnation, a reignition of domestic hostilities, and the return to US intervention. But he's done exactly the things that would call for that. In the meantime, the Harry S. Truman carrier battle group is still steaming as fast as possible towards the Eastern Mediterranean. It'll probably get there by the end of the week. If this was a delaying tactic, which Trump instituted, which is what I suspect, it has failed. And it's interesting about Molyneux again, what he was talking about, because I got a feeling that Stefan Molyneux, based on his most recent productions, his most recent radio shows, that he's about to come out and admit that, because there is a malevolent spiritual force at work in the universe. Because he's been an atheist his whole life, and he says he doesn't believe in God, but he's going to admit that he believes in this. Because you listen to him, his little program, just a little short 12-minute clip he did, a little program he did about the war, and he says it's just destruction for destruction's sake. It's they want to do it because you're good. They hate you because you're good. They want to destroy you because you're good. And I think these people have a sick sense of humor, because I don't know if I mentioned this on the last live stream, but in the 2017, it was April the 20th, 2017, that the last attack took place, which was last year. Almost a year ago to the day was when there was another chemical attack which was blamed on the Assad regime, which killed a load of people, and the US retaliated by bombing an airbase and destroying a couple of bunkers. It's almost 12 months exactly to the day that this new one happened, this new attack happened. What's interesting is the attack, that is the attack that happened yesterday, it was April the 14th. April the 14th. Well, it was the anniversary of the Titanic sinking, which was April 14th, 1912. So it was 106 years ago. They decided to do this attack 106 years after the Titanic has sunk. And I mean, there may be many reasons for this. And it could be to do with secret societies, brotherhoods, and a cult, for a cult reason, for a cult energetic reason. And I mean, I feel so sad for people who've been on the Trump train, because a lot of people had a lot of hope with Trump. I mean, you just saw it from 2016 onwards, the change in the psychology of so many people when he got elected, because everyone sensed what it was, and it was what I said it was. I mean, I don't go along with these people who said Trump was an insider from the start, and you didn't see it, Ben. You're so stupid, but we did. We're cleverer than you. I don't go along with those people. And there's this song on YouTube. It's called "President Trump is a Mighty Man," and see two women. One's quite old, and the other's a bit younger, and they're wearing the red Trump hats, and they're singing this song called "President Trump is a Mighty Man." And you can see it's a song they've composed. And it's lovely. It's really, really nice to see. I was going to find it and post it in the chat, actually, because it's such a lovely thing. It's such a wonderful thing. There we go. And it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel very sad. Here we go. And Tink Tink 123. Hello, Tink Tink. I just put it there now. That's the President Trump is a Mighty Man song. And hello, Stephen Bamber. Hi, how you doing? And it fills me with sadness because of the hope that's in the eyes and the face and the voices of those two women. And they're just one of many people. Now, from our position in Britain, it's like it's pretty much a loud groan all around when this happened. But it said the statement was released that 4 RAF Tornado jets were deployed from the RAF base on Cyprus to launch missiles at a Syrian military facility. And this was to keep chemical weapon precursors stockpiled in breach of Syria's obligation under the Chemical Weapons Convention. And the international community responded decisively with legal proportionate military force. Let these united actions send a clear message to the regime. The use of chemical weapons is categorically unacceptable and you will be held to account. Yeah. Theresa May, the Wicked Witch of the Westminster, said airstrikes on Syria were legally justified on humanitarian grounds, and she's published a legal case. The Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, described the action as highly questionable. Well, that's an understatement and a half. Bases near Damascus and Homs were targeted in response to an alleged chemical attack on the town of Douma. So an alleged chemical attack. They keep saying alleged. It's not been proved yet. The Syrian state media said that the military action had been a flagrant violation of international law, while their ally, Russia's President Vladimir Putin, condemned it in the most serious way. And then Trump tweeted, mission accomplished, and basically, and the UN UK's ambassador Karen Pierce said the strikes have been limited, targeted, and effective. That's the ambassador to the United Nations for Britain. The US ambassador Nikki Haley to United Nations said council diplomacy has been given chance after chance, and the US remained locked and loaded. They love these words, don't they? The Security Council rejected a resolution drafted by Russia which condemned the aggression against the Syrian Arabic Republic by the US and its allies. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, who is actually a Bilderberger, he's with, I think. Yes, he is. Yes, he was. Yeah, that's right. The allies had given their action their full support. No alternative, says Mrs. May. Collective action sends a clear message to the international community. We will not stand by and tolerate the use of chemical weapons. And this is funny because she said then, drawing a link with the recent nerve agent attack in Salisbury, she said, we cannot allow the use of chemical weapons to become normalized, either within Syria, on the streets of UK or elsewhere. I told you they were going to put those two things together, didn't I? I said it. I said they were going to put those two things together. They were going to link the Skripal attack with this event in Syria. It's all about demonizing Russia. I said Russophobia. Russophobia. That's a word I invented. Russophobia. It means a fear or hatred of Russia and anything or anyone Russian. But it turns out it was a word that already existed even after I invented it. I found someone else had done so already. But that's fine. It's okay. I don't claim copyright on it. Of course, this was well known during the Cold War. Of course, when it was the Soviet Union the Soviet Union was locked in this grip against the West. But it's come back, as the NATO Secretary General said. It's the Cold War's returned. Nicola Sturgeon said, and the Liberal Democrats Vince Cable said, MP should have had a vote on the action, while a Plaid Cymru leader, Leanne Wood, accused the government of putting the UK security at risk. Well, my goodness me, they wouldn't do that, would they? Would they really do that? No. Anyway, there's been some news reports from Damascus. At least 6 loud explosions were heard. And one of the places was a place called Bazaar, Scientific Studies and Research Center, which is a government agency, which, according to Western intelligence, was believed that chemical munitions were being produced there. And so this was attacked. Well, and another event at Masyaf in the Hama province. And it's sad, Damascus was once considered one of the finest cities in the Middle East. And it's well known for, of course, in the Bible, Saul of Tarsus. He's on the road to Damascus. He's actually heading there. And he's hit by the power of the angels of the Lord. And he undergoes an immediate conversion. And he becomes St. Paul. Very famous story. Now, what they don't talk about is the dangers of hitting these chemical weapons facilities. It's all very well, to even if, for instance, supposing Syria were guilty, supposing they'd actually, for some inexplicable reason, and Assad had completely lost his mind and just decided to commit political suicide by doing this chemical weapons attack at Douma, right? Supposing he decided to do that without for no reason at all. He just lost his mind and said, well, I'm tired of being a president. Oh, I need to go and work in a shoe shop or something. What can I do? I know. Let's get myself ruined. So suppose he'd done that. Would that justify the attacking the chemical weapons facility? Well, who's going to suffer? What's going to happen is those chemicals might well leak into the environment. Just think about it. Supposing there's like big bottles of them everywhere inside this facility and these explosions blow the whole thing out all over the nearby town. They were primarily, a lot of them were in urban areas. I mean, there's video you can see online, just amateur footage. I think it was shot by a journalist, where you can see like the skyline of Damascus, and these missiles come across the sky like that. They've got big roaring jet engines, and they go down. You see these lights going down. They go boom. It's in the middle of a bloody city. Anyway, Russia told the US to expect consequences. Russia has warned the US to expect the likelihood of some form of retaliation. The Russian ambassador to the US, Anatoly Antonov, said such actions will not be left without consequences. Oh my God. You see what I mean? Now, the same guy, Anatoly Antonov, he wrote on Twitter that I think he's right here. The Western powers implemented a pre-designed scenario. And he said that Russia here was being threatened. We warn that such actions will not be left without consequences. He accused Trump of insulting his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, something he called unacceptable and inadmissible. The US, the possessor of the biggest arsenal of chemical weapons, has no moral right to blame other countries. Yeah, I mean, the point is, I suppose, that the whole thing was a pre-designed scenario. Putin himself condemned the Western airstrikes on his ally Syria in the most serious way and said Russia will call an urgent UN meeting. Mr. Putin said striking Syria was an act of aggression, and he said a suspected chemical weapons attack on the town of Douma last year had been staged and used as a pretext for the attack. Exactly. And do you know what's happening now? Russia have agreed to supply Syria with a new anti-missile system. Now, as it happened, they claimed that about 2/3 of the missiles that were fired didn't even get through to their targets. This is why they have to fire so many of them, because of the anti-missile systems. Well, Russia's going to supply Syria with new anti-missile systems. Which, yeah. Syrian state media called the airstrikes a flagrant violation of international law. The Sana news agency said, when terrorists failed, the US, France, and Britain intervened and committed aggression against Syria. Well, these countries, they've been funding the bloody terrorists. That's what I said in the last thing, the last live stream. The Al-Nusra Front has been backed up by the CIA. In fact, it stopped now, but the only reason it stopped was because Trump ordered it stopped when he watched a classified CIA video of an Al-Nusra thug beheading its 7-year-old boy. He cut this poor kid's head off. That's when he said he didn't want the CIA to fund them anymore. Oh. Sana reported that the strikes hit a research center northeast Damascus, and as well as other military facilities around the capital. Missiles targeting military depots in Homs were intercepted. You know what's happened, right? Al-Nusra have launched an offensive in South Iraq. Isn't it great? Isn't it? This is exactly what I said would happen. This is what they want to keep that war going. Assad has virtually won, and now Al-Nusra, the enemies, these radical Islamists, the equivalent of the Islamic State in Syria, backed up by the CIA, they've now launched a new offensive against the government in the south of the country. So the war has restarted. And the enemy now, at the very last moment, just when they're about to be defeated, they've now decided to start fighting again. Because of this attack by the West has in a sense, reinvigorated them, boosted their morale, and they've decided to start again. So this is almost like an airstrike for the Al-Nusra Front. There's this what the US and Britain and France have done. They've just bombed the enemies of radical Islamists who cut the heads off 7-year-old boys. You couldn't make it up. That's the world we're living in now. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres says, I urge all member states to show restraint in these dangerous circumstances and to avoid any acts that could escalate the situation and worsen the suffering of the Syrian people. Well, it's a bit late for that, mate. It's already been done. Now, the good news is it seems that no one was killed in these attacks. These facilities were empty. It was late at night. Everyone had gone home. If there were any security guards there, then they may have been on the gate or something. I don't know. But the news agency Sana reports that missiles fired actually injured 3 people. Maybe these were the security guards on the gate of this scientific studies and research center in Basel. A building that housed a training center and laboratories was destroyed, according to the report. No doubt, like I said, with lots of big canisters containing these chemicals, which are now all over the place. It could take years to clean that up. How many people are going to die from that? Could have died from it. Because it says here, Western intelligence agency told the BBC that the SSRC facility was being used to manufacture chemical munitions. An allegation the Syrian government has repeatedly denied. It could be something clinical. I mean, it could be like drugs stored there or a blood for transfusion. And now the hospitals are going to be short. What's going to happen is maybe no one was killed in this attack, but if this was like a clinical storage facility, then the hospitals are going to be short of supplies and people are going to die. Oh. President Bashar al-Assad said he denies repeatedly ever using chemical weapons and accuses rebels of fabricating the incident. Yeah. The government insists its entire chemical arsenal was destroyed under a deal brokered in August 2013. All right. The rockets filled with this was after the rockets filled with the nerve agent sarin were fired at several opposition-controlled suburbs in Damascus, killing hundreds of people. Well, that was the one I told you about last time that was actually organised by a British defence contractor. I was telling you about last night. This was led straight back to a British defence contractor, which seems that even that was staged. Oh. Okay, so in summary, the UK, US, and France carried out airstrikes. President Trump said that allies had marshaled their righteous power against barbarism and brutality. 3 targets were struck. Russia said missiles were aimed at other targets, but many were intercepted by air defenses. Putin said it was an act of aggression, not left without consequences, violation of international law. Theresa May said it was right and legal. She said that, and she tried to link the Skripal attack to it. 105 strikes were launched, apparently, 105 weapons against 3 targets in Syria. These included some weapons that were launched from British aircraft. Missile strikes were carried out from air and naval platforms by those 3 countries and successfully hit every target. Precise, overwhelming, effective action was in retaliation for a suspected chemical weapons attack. Yes. All right. So the missiles were fired. 8 missiles were fired from British Tornado aircraft, GR4 jets. They were Storm Shadow cruise missiles. These are land attack variant cruise missiles fired and went to their target. Now, there's a map here. You can't see it, but there's a map which shows where these are. You can see Damascus, Homs, and a place called Latakia. These were all struck. Okay. And Trump said, a perfectly executed strike last night. Thank you to France and the United Kingdom for their wisdom and power of their fine military. Could not have been better results. Mission accomplished. And one thing I do find with Trump is there is a distinct lack of bloodlust. And it's true, despite his bravado and the way he's speaking. As I said before, I think he's putting on an act. As I said on the last live stream, he's been threatened. His family's been threatened. And he's crying for help. I'll explain why in the live stream. There's a link in the description box to the recording of the last live stream. Okay, so you can find out exactly what happened there. Where I talk about exactly what I think Trump is going, what's going through his head right now. But there's none of this stuff like with George W. Bush with the Iraq War and the various people associated with him. It was like really, it was literally, come on, let's go blow up some camel jockeys. Let's kill them. Let's go, let's grease them. That kind of rhetoric is absent this time. I do think Trump was forced into this. Now, David Icke, he has been gloating about this almost. I mean, he's been all over Twitter saying, I told you so about Trump. And it's true. David Icke was calling out Donald Trump from the start, for all the way from when he started his presidential campaign, saying, Trump's an insider. He always has been. It's all a big scam. It's just a deeper level of the conspiracy. And people in the truth movement, he said, people in the truth movement didn't believe me. People in the truth movement thought Trump was different. But I said so from the start that Trump was an insider. Now, I don't agree with David on that. I maintain what I said. Trump is not an insider. Trump was not the chosen one. He was the one, the deep state, the Illuminati, tried desperately to keep Trump out of the Oval Office. When they failed, they decided they tried to manage him in the place that he is. What's happened since then, as I explained on the last live stream, is that Trump has become an unwitting insider. I believe they've threatened him. I believe they haven't threatened him. I don't think he'd be scared about threats to his own life, but they threatened his wife, threatened maybe his children. He has a big family. He has a number of children and quite an even bigger number of grandchildren. His oldest son is about in his 40s. His youngest son is only 12. He's got a big family. And so there's some video footage, news footage of some cruise missiles being launched from a French ship. It's in an unknown location for obviously they don't want people to know where the ship is, and they're launching missiles against President Assad in Syria. And you can see these missiles going up. Very accurate land attack missiles. They can hit a target within 6 feet from thousands of miles away. They're very, very accurate. Which in a way that's a good thing because it reduces collateral damage. And it does seem that there's a lot of damage being done against these facilities. But if anyone dies from this, it'll probably be because, well, it would have been because chemical weapons would have escaped. But if the chemicals have not escaped from the facilities and they've not poisoned the local area, could it be there were no chemicals there in the first place? Because if there aren't chemicals, if there are canisters of deadly chemicals, poisons like that Novichok stuff, if they're and sarin, sarin is awful stuff. It's a nerve agent. If you breathe it in, you're dead. If these facilities really were storage for chemicals, right? One thing you have to do is you have to keep them in very, very secure locations in sealed containers. Now, you can't drop these on the floor, they're not going to smash, okay? But if you drop a massive missile on top with an explosive warhead, that will break open those canisters. It will scatter those chemicals all over the environment. And people will be dying. If that's not happening, then could it be there were no chemical weapons there in the first place? As I said. Well, Israel has expressed support for the strikes. Well, knock me down with a feather. Israel is actually supporting a globalist military action against Syria. Now, who would have thought it, against a Russian ally? Last year, an Israeli spokesman said, last year, President Trump made clear that the use of chemical weapons crossed a red line. Tonight, under American leadership, the United States, France, and United Kingdom enforced that line. Syria continues to engage in and provide a base for murderous action, including those of Iran. That puts its territory and forces and its leadership at risk. Right. Well, that's hardly surprising, is it? It says 71. The Russian Defense Ministry says there were no casualties in the airstrikes, civilian or military. 71 of a total of 103 cruise missiles were intercepted by Syrian air defenses. All the cruise missiles fired at 4 airfields were shot down, while more than half the missiles shot at 2 further airfields were also shot down. Merkel expresses support for the airstrikes. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel has expressed support for the Syrian airstrikes, calling them necessary and appropriate. My goodness me, who'd have thought it? Angela Merkel, former East German communist. Did I say former? She said this, warned President Assad against further use of chemical weapons. Last week, Mrs. Merkel ruled out German participation in military strikes, but said, "We see and support that everything is done to send a signal that the use of chemical weapons is not acceptable." I swear she's Hitler's daughter, you know. Have you seen a photo of the two, of Angela Merkel and Adolf Hitler together? Father and daughter, I'm sure. Right, here we go. The EU. Donald Tusk, chairman of the European Commission. What's he going to say then? I wonder. We will stand with our allies. European Council President Donald Tusk has responded to the launch of airstrikes on Twitter. Strikes by US, France, and UK make it clear that the Syrian regime, together with Russia and Iran, cannot continue this human indignity without cost. Now, I wish they'd drop some bombs on those damn Brexiteers. Yeah. And there's something pretty sickening about the way the news reports, I should add as well, the way the news reports have covered this. There's some almost poetic descriptions in the news reports, and there's some of these still on YouTube of the aircraft. There's a nighttime launch of a deployment of aircraft taking off, the Tornadoes taking off from RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus. And he describes the afterburners glowing into the night. It's almost sexual. And this is advertising for the military-industrial complex. And there was a NATO admiral actually interviewed on the news saying it didn't matter. Government already has a mandate from Parliament, so there's no need to make a fuss about it, because it's just like. And so now what's going to happen next? That's the question. We know that, well, if Trump's delaying tactic could now backfire on him, because these ships are now heading for the Mediterranean. They're going to be there in less than a week now. Probably by the end of the week, they'll be there. There's an aircraft carrier, 11 support ships, 2 submarines, 4 ships already on station, all loaded down with weapons, a mobile airfield, basically. That's USS Harry S. Truman. So will there be further action? That's the question. Or is this it? I mean, it's hard to say right now. Well, got to realise that. I mean, this is not abstract for me when I talk about going to war. When I hear someone's going to war, it's not just a news story and it's nasty, it's horrible. It's something that I had to deal with personally when I was at the hospital. I'm not there anymore, so I don't have to now, but I'll never forget it. I had to deal with injured soldiers. I had to process the bodies of dead soldiers. And so it's something I have an acute awareness of. I had to deal with this. And as a hospital reporter, I don't get any of the appreciation that the armed forces do for doing what I did. You don't get any of that. We're forgotten. So it's a very tangible thing for me, war, and it always has been since I had to deal with it at the hospital. Now, another strange thing happened just soon after the supposed chemical attack on Syria. There was a fire in Trump Tower. Did you see that? Yeah. It was. You could see it on the outside. Obviously, the tower didn't collapse and turn into dust, but then we're used to that. We're not going to see any more buildings turn into dust, are we, when they just catch fire? But one person was killed, 6 firefighters were injured. Now, of course, it could be that it just happened to happen at that moment. That we had this chemical attack on Syria. Trump was president. He was basically told, you've got to treat it the way Hillary Clinton would have dealt with it. You've got to do the same thing. And at the very same time, a fire breaks out in Trump Tower. So, as David Icke says, just a coincidence, nothing to worry about. And so, as I said before, I mean, I feel helpless because it doesn't it doesn't matter what demonstrations you put in, and I mean, it doesn't matter if we march on the streets of London; it won't do any good. I think the big 1 million person march in 2003, that was probably the last great demonstration you're ever going to get in Britain, because its failure, the enormous energy it generated, and it seemed unstoppable. But then, as I said, the war just went ahead anyway. Blair was re-elected. And as I said in the previous live stream, there's nothing essentially bad. There's nothing inherently bad about regime change if the regime is corrupt. But who's going to do it? The Truth Movement? Slaxer made a video just yesterday about why he is fed up with the conspiracy theory world. And I mean, I posted in a comment underneath, I said, look, I'm feeling very cynical about it as well, not for the same reasons as him. But it's the troll crisis has really got me down. I mean, I'm going to have to do an entire video about this. The troll crisis has absolutely had a massive blow to morale for me and for many, many other people. And the fact that we're facing these horrific, obscene situations. And we need to start. What I would say is that taking over the government by force would be justified. But who's going to do it? The Truth Movement? The Truth Movement going to do it? No, of course they're not. They're busy looking for nasty things to write about Larry Warren. They're concerned about something Simon Parkes said on his radio show about somebody else. I mean, Darren Perks, Kevin Annett. There's these truth mobs that keep breaking out everywhere, and then nothing matters except these damn truth mobs and the target of the truth mobs. It keeps happening all the time. And when these truth mobs break out, nothing matters except the sanctity of the cause. The anti-Darren Perks tendency, they completely took over the original UK Exopolitics group on Facebook. They took it over. I had to leave the group because it became an anti-Darren Perks group, essentially. Now, whatever Darren Perks has done, does it justify this? I mean, can't we defer this matter? Can't we defer it till after the job is done? Honestly, if we stop this New World Order, which is looking increasingly unlikely now, I swear to you, I'll write a 5-volume treatise. I'll dedicate the rest of my life to writing and posting and talking to people about who is a shill and who's not a shill. Who did what to whom? Who's the king of the castle and who's the dirty rascal? But right now, we have to save the world, and we're not doing it. We're not going to do it because this keeps happening. I'm just gonna go and look at some of your comments now, but I won't. I'll go to the notice because some of you put some good comments in the show note on the notice for this particular live stream, and I'll just go and look at those because I just want to say thanks for those. I mean, I'll just let's have a look. Here we go. Now, firstly, Dazastar. Hey, Art Bell has passed away. That's right, Daz. I know, it's sad. David Munday. Theresa May took a risk without a parliament vote to join a surprise attack with France and the USA, and it paid off with no casualties, although it was either a staged or real chemical attack by Assad and his people. Yeah. Corbyn would have won the parliamentary vote. No action would be taken. That's true. As I said, the Conservatives don't even have a majority in Parliament. They've teamed up with these nutters from Northern Ireland to create a majority. And even then, it's only about 6 seats. Assad didn't expect last night with a fleet of ships on the way. Yeah. So Theresa May played the winning hand and avoided World War III. I mean, I hope so. Obviously, I hope this is the end of it. But for now, I mean, it's not going to. The forces in place are still there. The cesspit is still there. The swamp hasn't been drained. Freedom Vigilant talks about how does one avoid global thermonuclear war? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Stephen Bamber says check out Michael Black on YouTube. He has live streams as well. Yeah, he does. That's good. Sorenable, can't wait. Thanks for joining us, Sorenable. And Freedom Vigilant. I know you've got to be up at 4 a.m. at work. I hope he or she says I'll try to attend. I'm fuming with Trump, and I do hope if you're there, Freedom Vigilant. I'm going to check the comments in the Spurg chat now. Okay, and Vrilon Aura, hi Vrilon. I'll just go back to the top of the Spurg chat. Okay, I know you guys. I'll try to answer as many of your questions as I can. Mel O'Brien says, I like the Kev Baker show and Freaky Friday. Sure beats Sky and the BBC and RTE. It certainly does, doesn't it? Mind you, the test card beats those things these days. Kev Faker and Shill Frequency. Oh, for goodness sake, man. It supported Trump even though he was a Zionist. Come on. Diego Rivera, I've just explained to you the situation with Trump. Trump is trying to do something here. I mean, I think he is. I hope he finds a way to fight back, and I help him in any way that he can. Paul Armstrong says Kev Faker. Oh, shut up, Paul. Oh, Kev's here himself. Don't engage with the trolls. Yeah, true. Show me. Oh, give it up. These people, please give it up, guys. Stop all this stuff. Richard Kisnet. Hi, Richard. Can we have a polite discourse? Not the form to shill shame. Well, exactly, Richard. Thank you. And that was just my point. All this shill shaming is taking us away from the matter in hand. Watch my video, The Shill Squad. I've written 2 videos. I made 2 videos, The Shill Squad and The Shill Squad 2 Ben Fellows. Just check those out. All about the pipeline. Yes, indeed, says. Freedom Vigilant, the SA-400 missile system. That's it. Well, Freedom Vigilant, thank you for joining me. I won't keep you up too late. Okay. Paul Armstrong says, do your American listeners know we get free healthcare here, Kev? I expect they do. I mean, the National Health Service is well known around the world. David Munday. A chap was hosing the bomb-damaged building. He must be mad. Well, exactly, David. Yes. It doesn't make sense. I mean, if these were chemical storage piles, I mean, if that was a real deadly poisonous chemical storage pile, that area would have to be completely sealed off until it was cleaned up, which would be a massive job that could take months. Mel O'Brien, Trump or Hillary? Not a good choice, but Trump every time. Yeah, well, I say Trump too. We shouldn't give up on Trump. I know that Alex Jones is swearing at him, saying, fuck you, Trump, fucking Trump, and stuff like this. And if you heard that thing, I've never heard Alex Jones swear like that on the air, but he did. He did. He was really angry. But we shouldn't give up on him. He doesn't want this. As I said, he's in the swamp now, and the swamp is on him, and it's not what he thought it was. It's far worse than what he thought it was. Starwine, hello. Gavloft, hi Gavloft. Read the race for what's left by Michael T. Clare. I don't know what that means. Diego Rivera, do you still support Trump, Ben? Well, what do you mean by support, Diego? If you mean affiliation, no, because support is often used as a synonym for affiliation in a pejorative sense. Do I still support him? I still think he is at heart a good man, and if he can find a way to fight back without endangering his family, he will. And if you look, as I said in the last live stream, if you look at Mike Cernovich and these other people who are tracing the arrest, it appears there are people on his side. There was a secret civil war going on right now in the United States. Large number of arrests. Duncan Campbell, listen to his show on Truth Frequency Radio. He talks about this as well. I think this could come out all right, but we won't know until the last minute. That's the problem. We probably won't even hear about it until after it's all over because he's keeping it quiet. He's not going to tell the enemy what he's doing. Tink123, hi Tink. All the smoke and mirrors, real secret, international satanic pedo ring. I know that's true. Body harvesting, and yeah, I know that's true. Diego, stop calling Kev faker. All right. If I didn't know that Kev could give as good as he gets, right? Could give as good as he gets, I'd ban you. Kev Baker says, shows how much you know, Diego. Yeah. Well done, Kev. Oh. Paul, secret warrior clown posse are creating proxy attacks. Oh, right. Oh, the clowns. I know all about the bloody clowns. Those clowns that keep wandering the streets, yeah. Bill Swoonicta. In Brum, you said you were an alien. Why don't you know more? All right, Bill. Oh, that was what I said in my probe video. I'll add some more to that in a little while. I can't tell you any more right now, but I will. Okay. Chili943. Hi, Chili. How are you? Tink. Look at the deep, dark web footage of the tunnels. 3 dining rooms on Epstein Island, now being burnt to the ground. Shows HRC and others sitting naked, eating humans using skin. Oh, God. Who's HRC? Oh, Clinton. Hillary. Yeah, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I know she drinks blood. She's bound to, skin and flesh as well. That only comes second, doesn't it? There you go. What's Kev saying? Right, fail. Good. Kev is standing up to you. I'm not going to ban. The only reason I'm not banning you, Diego Rivera, is because Kev can give as good as he gets. Kev can give you back as good as you get. Okay. If you start on anyone who I think is less robust, I'll ban you. Neil Austin. Exactly. The embers of war start to die. Therefore, flames must be fanned by those who benefit. That's a good way of putting it. A very poetic way of putting it, but it's absolutely true. They obviously want the Syrian civil war to continue. No doubt, though, along those missiles, once they've fired their warheads into these alleged chemical plants, or probably, just I said, medical supplies and things like that for hospitals, which are now going to suffer, the drugs and bandages and blood for transfusion and stuff like that, and surgical equipment. Not only that, but no doubt some money has been passed on to Al-Nusra and maybe some crates of rifles and grenades and things like that. Yeah. Arcane Rhythm Lennon. Hello. What a name. Desperate in action as always, yeah. Do you still support Trump? Well, pardon him. Oh, bless me. Diego, do I still support him? I've answered that question. I've told you I think we shouldn't give up on him. But the word support is a very loaded term. It implies affiliation. I'm not affiliated with Trump. Freedom Vigilant. Let's save the children in Syria by chucking missiles at them. Yeah, exactly. Blowing open these chemical warfare plants, which is then, which then will scatter more these weapons into the environment. Paul Armstrong says, Ben and... Oh, I've lost my place. Hang on. Oh, God, hang on. Where are we going? Back to your basement, says Kev. Exactly, yes. Okay. What does supporting Trump even mean? Yes, exactly, TK. Paul Armstrong said, Kevin, Ben, back Trump, though. Well, you see, this is the old gloating thing, isn't it? Oh, you're going to say, oh, yeah, you thought Trump was different. You thought Trump was against the New World Order. But you've been proved wrong. Yeah. Paul, I know how you like to stir things up. I know what an emotional vampire you are. Okay, and I swear you're not going to get your blood out of me. Tink 123. Social services corrupt and infiltrated from all sides. Yeah, I know. I've had first-hand experience of that. Mary. Video of something so sick on Anthony Weiner's laptop. Yeah. In need of psychiatric help. Well, we know that Anthony Weiner was flirting with a 15-year-old girl. He's married to this Hummus. What's her name? Hummus Couscous or whatever she's called. And of course, they're best buddies with guess who? Yes, old reptile breath herself, Hillary Clinton. Huma Abadas or whatever she's called. Yeah. Kev says the trolls are the lowest intelligence I've ever seen. Fail. Diego Rivera says Mel O'Brien. Your CD is repeating. Diego, I'll answer your question, okay? If you tell me what you mean by support, I'll explain to you what I feel about Trump. But I've already told you what my position is on Donald Trump. Arcane Rhythm, Lennon says they'll bomb the milk formula factory next, just like they did a few years ago. Yeah, they did that in Iraq as well, under the guidance of Madeleine Albright, who looks like some sort of zombie corpse from the Village of the Damned. Has a personality to match. Richard Kinzet. At the end of that war, half supported the president, half didn't. The point, what does it mean? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just hope that TK says everyone's just having a chat, apart from Kev Baker, who's calling everyone a troll. Kev is not calling everyone a troll. He's calling Diego Rivera and Paul Armstrong trolls because that's what they're doing. They're trolling. I don't. What do you expect? Oh, if you can't answer, accuse it. No, don't be daft. All right, we have. Is it treason? So the West knew about these chemical plants but never mentioned them. Well, that's a good point. Yes. They've known all this time and they didn't say anything. Oh, right, yeah. Gavlov says, Ben the JR Porter is a Jew millionaire who has been paid to rabble-rouse and spread disinformation. Really? Well, I'm living in a basement flat in Oxford. I'm not a Jew, actually. I wish I was a Jew. I mean, if Jews seem to have all this power. They seem. What is it people say about Jews? They're all, they're running the New World Order. They're reptilian blood drinkers. And oh my goodness me, I want in. Yeah. Now, Jews are not behind the New World Order. Okay, disclaimer. I've done a video called Jews where I explain that it's not the Jews. Kev Baker. I think anyone with an IQ in double figures can spot the trolls in here. Yes. Kev, don't let them wind you up, honestly. If they start on anyone, I know you can stick up for yourself, mate. If they start on anyone else, I'm going to ban them. Tink 123. There's a video called The Fatherhood showing the Podestas abusing, killing, and torturing children. What is that? Oh, I've not heard of that one, but yeah. I wonder how Putin will respond. Well, that's it, Freedom. I mean, so far he says there's going to be consequences. Jeff, answer the question. Do you still support Trump? Diego, packing it. I'm gonna get rid of you. Hang on, I'm banning you. Hang on. How do I put user in timeout? There we are. Okay, that's it. I've had enough. Okay. If all you're going to do is keep repeating questions and that, you can go. Tink 123. Interesting. Trump looked different in his war declaration speech and was wearing a purple tie. Why the purple tie? Oh, yeah. Is there something significant about a purple tie? I don't know. Yeah, why is purple significance? Yeah, exactly, Emperor. I found out the grim stuff yesterday. I'm a Buddhist, but I observe the Testament, said Phuket. Hey, Phuket, how are you? Hi, Armin Adams. I saw an FBI agent peer from the Buckeye. Oh, hey, Magma. How are you? There's bravado, but a stink list of brothers. Nice to see you. How are you? I know Magma is actually someone who exists in real life because I've met her. She's a real person. I've even been to her house. Purple shows blue bloodline royalty. And hey, good for the boys, as in the things in sea that float. Purple, watch out. Bill Sunita. Trump's call for help through Twitter. Yeah, of course, that's right. Trump ain't no blue bud, says Emperor Mong. In fact, I was looking at them. I was actually looking at Chris Everard. He's on TFR, and he's been saying that Trump's not been invited to the royal wedding, even though Obama has. Paul Armstrong. Trump's just another pawn, no different from the rest. He is different from the rest, Paul. He's being made to behave as if he's not different from the rest right now, but don't give up on him. Tink 123. It was a subliminal message to somewhere. Ready for some rapture action, says Phuket. Freedom Vigilant. Trump tries to retain an image of reserve CEO. Well, he's, I suppose, a reserve CEO. Where are we? Right. The big target is Iran. What are they going to do? Hunley. It's not as blatant as Bush, but more satisfied. And Mary says, I don't agree with David either. That's right about the Trump being an insider from the start. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to... What's this? All right, I'm Diego Rivera. Okay, so okay. Hang on, how do I do this? Okay. Diego Rivera. Okay, it looks like your ban's expired. Okay, well, look. Ben, do you still support Trump? All right, well, I've just told you. What do you mean by support? Do I think he is essentially good, someone who can do some good? Yes. Does that count as support? In that case, Diego Rivera, the answer is yes, I do support Trump. Okay, I still do. I believe he has been manipulated into behaving the way he is. He's still accountable for his actions. But maybe if he had his wife and child threatened, then yeah, it's understandable. I mean, as I said in the last live stream, I do think that he is. I think that he is. Hang on a minute. Where are we? Right. Okay, let's have a look at this. I do think that he is actually. Okay, no worries. I think he's trying to give out messages of, covert warnings to people. Sound S. Hello, Sound S. He's a New York real estate and casinos owner. You don't get into that unless you're an insider or owned by the tribe. Not true. He's simply good at business. You don't have to be an insider to become rich and successful. You just have to get into politics and get into positions of political power. You do. Mary 444. People have had premonitions that he'd been sent to save the world, even back in the 90s before he'd been running for president. Well, I bloody hope so. I really do. Stephen Bamber. Trump is not a good guy. Trump is unstable. I'm not so sure. Emperor Monk says, why can't Trump call for Navy SEALs to wipe out the CIA? Well, something like that might actually be happening, Emperor. There's some distinct signs that there are arrests going on. There's some kind of hidden civil war going on. If you remember, I do ask you to actually look at what is being talked about, what Mike Cernovich and others have been talking about. TK says, the deep state have threatened to kill Trump's family. Wow, I missed that news. Well, you won't hear it in the news. But, I mean, if you look, it's a reasonable supposition, TK, that something like that has happened. If you watch Friday's live stream, it's all on there, the Friday's live stream. There's also the tweet that he gave out, which I think was a cryptic cry for help. And I explained why. Honey says, okay, folks, calm down. I know, Bill Swooninta says, Ben, you come to conclusions which are just your opinion. Your opinion doesn't equal facts. I know that. Bill. I'm not pretending they're facts. Magma, I agree with you, Ben, says Magma. Oh, cool. How's your other half, Magma? Is he all right? I've not seen him for a while. I was talking to him on Facebook earlier. Arcane Rhythm Lennon says, Yorkshire. Why is that? Why Yorkshire? Gavloft, a giant buttock will swallow earthlings soon. You wait. Oh, my goodness me. Paul Armstrong, I disagree with you, Ben. You always disagree with me, Paul. You disagree on everything. Richard Kisnet says, 103 cruise missiles at £1,400,000, £100,000 each, equals £144 million, 200,000 £144,200,000 up in smoke. But no money for the homeless, NHS on its arse in the UK. As the old saying goes, you know, we can find the money to go to war, but we can't find the money to feed the poor. Yes, always the way. Okay, so what's Diego Rivera saying? Are you still part of the Donald Trump fan club, Ben? Oh, honestly, man, what do you if you're gonna, Diego Rivera, please, could you say something sensible? I'll let you back in if you say something sensible, but I'm not gonna tolerate you. This is just a silly thing. Vrillon, hi Vrillon. Armand Adams says, if you bomb places, the places of WMD, that will create even more problems. It will. Stephen Bamber, Trump is 100% an Illuminati puppet. I cannot concur there, Stephen. I don't think he is, and I'll explain why. Mel O'Brien, Diego, you creep. All of us here love and support Trump. He's the greatest president ever. We hope and pray he will nuke all our enemies, and may include you. That's going too far, Mel. I mean, I know he's annoying, Diego, but as for Trump, well, as I said, we don't know what's going to happen with Trump yet. He's not yet the greatest president. I think he could be. He has the potential to be, but we're going to have to wait and see. Can he rise to this challenge? Can he sort it out? I know how tough and resourceful he is, but he's basically got the sword of Damocles hanging over his head, or over his wife's head and children's head. Bill Swinton, what would Mogg do? Jacob Rees-Mogg. Well, that all depends on whether he's in the same position as Trump. He has a family too, I'm sure. He has people he loves. And Magma says, yeah, it doesn't make sense to bomb chemical weapons storage places. Absolutely. The chemicals are going everywhere, like I said. Vrillon is here. Tink123. Trump is stuck, exposed the elite pedo road as it will bring down the UK British royal family. I just hope so. I really do hope so. And Diego Rivera says, Ben, do you still support Trump? Yes, I do. Does that answer you for your question? DJ B2, better get my grill on for Vrillon and throw a steak on. But don't get a hard on. Sorry, that was crude. That was naughty, Ben. How can Trump be good? Stephen, I've told you how. I think he means well, but he's been subverted. I think he's actually been, like I said, I suspect his family's been threatened. But we can just hope that he comes through. He left a coded message in a tweet. I'm sure it was a coded message. I explain why on Friday's live stream, and I've done an article of it about it on Panama Voice too. Magma says, I've read that Trump actually bombed the CIA and Mossad sites. Well, I hope that's true, Magma. I really do. Paul Armstrong says, Mog 4 p.m. I don't know what that means. Ben supported him. Well, so what? So did Kev Baker. So bloody what? Ben loves Mog. We want Mog, Ben. Ben is boring. Oh, you want him on the... Bill, you want him to do a live stream instead of me, do you? All right. Magma says no Russian military shot. Well, that's the good thing is it does seem like no one was killed in this. Ben, do you still support Trump? Yes, I do. Okay. Paul W. Hey, Vrillon, I saw your TV broadcast 45 years ago. Oh, the Vrillon broadcast. Yes. The aliens. Yeah, the alien message. This is Vrillon. We have a secret message for you. Oh, that was amazing. That was. DJ Butu. Ben just got his video demonetized. None of my videos are monetized. I'm not even going to bother trying. I'm not. I know it'd be too obvious that they'll be demonetized immediately. Stephen Bamber says, check out Michael Black's channel. I do sometimes, Stephen. He's very good. A man like Ben supporting an aristocrat is rather odd. Is it? What? Like, you mean Mog? Why does it, just because he's an aristocrat doesn't mean he's a bad man? TK, Diego Rivera, have you ever spoken to Ben? Yeah. Magpie, I like your impression of Communist Merkel. Yes. Communists and Nazis, it's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Diego Rivera. Maybe the English Bigfoot will answer. Yeah. Is it cool to be anti-Ike? In actions, yes. Well, Phuket, well, yes. I supported Trump. Diego Rivera, you got a... Yeah, I've done a video called "Is It Cool to Be Anti-Ike?" It's a few years ago now. It'll take you a while to find it. But Diego Rivera, I thought you'd bring up the British Bigfoot at some point. Well, and you've got this fixation on me and Trump, all right? I've told you what I think about Trump. Stephen, Trump has tried to, stop the international pedo ring. Yeah, he's doing his best. But as I said, the problem with the swamp is it is way beyond anything that Trump could ever imagine in his worst nightmare. That's the problem. Armand Adams says, maybe she is Hitler. You never find both in the same room. I think it's father and daughter. I really do. Hey, Ben, says Hunley. You must be getting popular, Jude. You even have sockies in your chat stream. Oh, I have those everywhere anyway. You don't have to be particularly popular. You just have to attract the trolls, and I've attracted quite a few of them. Freedom Vigilant, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ben and Kev, do you agree that the nerve agent poisoning story is odd, especially in view of NBC training receiving basic? NBC training received during basic. Yeah, I do very much so. I do. I mean, the NBC thing. That's nuclear biological chemical. Yeah, that's something that we did at the hospital as well, and it's all the emergency services are trained in that. And of course, it's only a matter of time before I always said they would stage something like that, even if the real thing didn't happen. They would stage it. Is it cool to support Trump? Says Stephen Bamber. Oh well, I think so. Very. No, Bill Swoonter. Where can I get a mug that never seems to run out of liquid? Well, you just have to have a line of them like this on your desk in front of you. Diego Rivera, do you still support Trump, Ben? Yes, I do. There's still time left, says Vrillon. I bloody hope so. I think there is. I think we'll just have to hope. For God's sake, we just hope that Trump knows what he's doing. He's going to keep on doing these arrests. And somehow he's going to turn this around without killing his family. Getting his family killed. It's got to be. It's got to be. Trump's policies were either overturned because he didn't want them, so like they've been mind controlling him to follow their agendas. It's something like that, yeah. I think Ben supports Oxford, says Steve 071. Yeah, I do. Excuse me. Oh, really? May I call you Collins, says Vera? Is that your name? Bill Swin, are you reading from a script, for fuck's sake? Well, these are notes, Bill, that I made earlier on. I had to make a notes of all the different things. Trump has always been a Zionist. Said, no, he hasn't. Trump actually went to AIPAC and he says, what's it like to speak to a man you can't buy? But this was during the election campaign. Now, after the election campaign, of course, everything changed. Stephen says, does Trump support Ben? Oh, I bloody hope so. He better. Diego Rivera, do you still support Trump, Ben? Yes. Paul Armstrong, yes, he supports Trump. You see, Paul knows, doesn't he? This is getting like Gorilla 199 and David Icke being a Freemason. It is like listening to some kind of mantra. Tink 123. The Russian blame game in the UK, say, failed. The UK took it over. No proof these chemicals came from Russia. Now this to bait Russia. Trump could be working with Russia as Russia hasn't responded. Well, I bloody hope, if Putin's got any brains, which he has, he must surely realize that what's really going on here, and he shouldn't respond. And Trump, there must be sort of like Trump and Putin are probably winking at each other like this. Look, you know what they're trying to do, make us do. Let's just go through let's go through the motions, let's make the right noises, and just don't do anything. Villanora said, did all the cruise missiles get shot down? Most of them did. Hunley said, Oxford, evil sod. He should be supporting West Yorkshire. Autism troll edge, yeah. Well, Diego Rivera sounds a bit autistic. That is a monster, that carrier, Arcane Rhythm Lennon. Yes, it is. It's one of the biggest warships in the world, actually. It's a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. It is the biggest warship on Earth. And it has like 11 ships company in it. It's a very, very formidable weapons platform indeed. Bill Swoonita. Some tinker is an alien in a human body. MG. Oh, right. I will go into that some more. Okay, I will talk some more about that at some point. All right, I promise you. MGC 7199. USA lowered the bar to chlorine, so any rebel could call in an airstrike. Chlorine, yeah, is easy to make. Do you still support Trump? Yes. There's Diego. Trump's an Illuminati puppet. He is now. I hope he won't be. Ben supported him. So did Kev Baker. You're cutting and pasting these, Diego, now, aren't you? You really are. It's got to be. It's interesting how they were trying to blame Russia for intervening in the US elections, to get Trump in. It seems everything is staged. That's exactly it, yeah. Bill Swinter, you're not a medic, you shoved gurneys. Gurneys is an American word for hospital trolleys. I'm not pretending to be a medic. I'm a hospital porter. I was a hospital porter. Okay. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, Phuket. Yes, I did. Hey, Diego Rivera, says Hunley. So who do you support? Yeah, good question. Politics is finished, says Stephen Bamber. Yeah, it is. My Freedom Vigilant said, my dad always said hospital porters are great and always ready to help in a moment's notice. Freedom Vigilant, give my dad your best wishes. My best wishes. Tell him I wish him all the best and thank you very much. He's absolutely right. Ting, yes, his bloodline has the Pope, whose mother was a Rothschild, all bloodline war. They're fighting each other, not countries. Concept for the masses. Bill Swinnicta. Lots of people do horrible, nasty jobs, but they don't go on and on about it. Well, of course, but I don't do it. I never done a horrible, nasty job. I've been an essential member of a life-saving team doing one of the most important jobs in the entire world. I'll go on and on about it till the day I die. Mary 444. To deflect from Trump's attorney office being raided. Diego Rivera Velázquez. Oh, I'm not just going to participants. Okay. Why did I just press that? Okay. Where am I now? Okay. These are the people who are members. Okay. Everybody supports Trump. Yeah. TK says, I can't believe someone is so obsessed about Ben's support for Trump. Will you be surprised what people are obsessed about? I can't believe why people are more obsessed with what Simon Parkes had for breakfast than the fact the world is ending and we're the only people who can stop it. Paul Armstrong, since Savile, I've had a distrust of hospital porters. Well, Paul, I found that very difficult to deal with. I really have. I've done an article about this, about my position on Savile and the fact that he was porter. He was a porter. He was a hospital porter. Yeah, he's a disgrace to the profession. Bill Swinnicta, is it okay to drink Rothschild wine? Well, so long as they don't add blood to it, which is what they usually do. Ben, do you still support Trump? Yes, I do. Diego Rivera. MGC 7199. Semi-automatic pitchforks, mate. Yeah. Get to punch commies, though, says Emperor Monk. Alex Jones is now a joke. Alex Jones's rant the other day was, I felt sorry for him. I really did, because like everyone else, he had big hopes for Trump. Villanova, the Marxists have taken over. Marxism is a tool they use for the New World Order. That's not who they are, but it's just what they use and the people they use. But yeah, I mean, they have. We all have the truth, says Freedom Vigilant, and that's the most powerful weapon. Diego Rivera, run the banking. All right. Get Batman, said Armand. I've got a Marxist, says Diego. Okay. It's interesting that Diego's now saying something different from do you support Trump, do you support Trump, do you support Trump? Makes a change. Rab, hello Rab, new member. Who remembers Trump Town from the 70s? Hugh, Barney McGrath. That's Trumpton, yeah, Trumpton. The fireman, yeah. Tink 123. People can't see past BBC, Fox, and Agenda. They don't know their research. The deep dark web exists. Magma says Trump won't do any blanket bombing. He actually avoids civilian deaths. He has actually. This is why I said that the bloodlust is missing, which was present in the Iraq War, which was the deliberate intent to slaughter is not there. And Trump is really trying to get his way out. He's trying to worm his way out of this as best he can. I know he's capitulating, but he's trying to find a way out of it. Diego Rivera, Eugenio Velázquez. Yes, I still support Trump. DJ Buta. Well, that's okay. 69 Phuket says, porters are the unseen degenerates that do the important work, but us. Well, we are unseen, but I prefer the word hero to degenerate. Bill Swinnicta, you are a snowflake. I want my safe space. I'm a liberalist, says Villain Aura. That's right. Well, yeah, I mean, I've been watching Sargon of Akkad and what he has to say about all that, and I agree with him. Diego Rivera, Maybe the English Bigfoot will ask. So Diego said, Hunley, what you're saying is you're against the evil, nasty Jews. The Jews aren't evil or nasty. It's not the Jews doing this. I've told you. Phil Hainsworth. Hi, Phil. Good evening, Phil. How are you? There we go. Vrillon's in love with Sargon of Akkad. Oh, I think Sargon's married, I'm afraid. I like Sargon. I like what he says. Richard Kinzet, we're destroying ourselves. And Tink says, Magma, that's what I'm hoping he's doing, working with Russia to weed out the deep, dark state in a counter move yet to be exposed. The masses can't cope with the truth, child trafficking, cannibalism. Well, exactly. Well, Tink, I mean, when all this comes out, people will just break down and weep in the streets. The scale of the child, especially stuff relating to children. I mean, the UFO 9/11 stuff, that's also up there with the bigger than big secrets. And I do hope you're right about what you just said. I will read that again. What I'm hoping for is he's working with Russia to weed out the deep, dark state in a counter move yet to be exposed. I do hope so. Bill, what is the New World Order, says Bill. Well, I've done videos explaining that. Diego, yes, I still support Trump. New World, here we are, lizards. Okay. I can't reply to all your messages. Sorry, I'll skip a few. TK, anyways, I always thought the aliens would just step in if we had a mad war. I don't know, TK, but I hope so. I bloody hope so. And there's signs that they are aware of, they're certainly aware of our nuclear capability. We're aware of controlling it, as Captain Bob Salas found out. Right. Okay, wait, I'm just going to smile for the camera because I want to. Oh, where are we? I'm just going to smile for the camera a minute. Okay. Okay. That's just a thumbnail, right? I was just getting a thumbnail there for when I do the recording. When the recording's uploaded. Oh, here we go. Where is it? Here we go. Just get it on that. No. Right, okay. People can't seem to act logically, says Freedom Vigilant. And you just have to for folk to have their view. Yeah. Well, we are living in the post-rational age. It does seem that way. I mean, the very fact that a completely illogical scenario has been accepted by the mainstream media as common knowledge is a sign. It's a sign that all logic has gone out the window. All ethical and rational considerations no longer apply. This is the source of the troll crisis. The troll crisis is basically a bunch of people who live in a world where he or she with the loudest voice, the most intimidating person, what they say is the definition of pseudo-reality. Oh, I've still got some of this. Diego Rivera, could you stop asking me if I support Donald Trump? I've answered the question now. Villanora, it's wrong to think to have your own point of view. Well, we do, though, don't we? Magma. Oh, well, I've lost my place. I should go back. It does this every so often. I keep coughing. Whenever I'm talking, I end up coughing. Oh, where are we? Hang on. Oh, yeah, come on. Oh, no, it just suddenly just scrolled down. It just zipped down to the bottom, and I've got to scroll up. Come on. Oh. I'll be a sec. Play amongst yourselves for a moment. Oh, where are we? Something weird's happening now. Now it's just stopped. It's just frozen. The Spurg chat's just frozen. I think maybe is that as high as it goes? All right. Stormy Stanley says it doesn't matter who you support. Presidents are nothing but puppets. Well, I think it does. Okay, I've lost some of your comments. Sorry. You need to wrench a few folks, Jude says Hanley to me. I don't know what you mean. Emperor Mong, Trump is too old to fight the deep state. He's 72. Well, I think he's actually 74. But he's not too old. I mean, he's full of energy, you know. Huma Abedin, that's her. Yeah, that's the lady who was married to that pervert. I'm no troll, bruv, says Paul Armstrong. Well, you do like winding people up, though, Paul. I think you do like getting a bit of emotional blood out of people's necks. Hi, Ben. Roger Salscaber. Hello, Roger. Neil Dundon. Please elaborate on your info on the Iraq War. What evidence do you have, mate? About what? What part of the Iraq War? Kev Baker refused to. Kev Baker, you were winding Kev up, and he stomped on you, and you deserved it. Stephen Bamber. Anyone who asks to be a mod is power hungry. Well, you remember the old David Icke forum? And I don't think that counts, you know, Stephen. But you were on the old David Icke forum with me. Do you remember? That's going back a few years. I've known Stephen Bamber for a long time. He exists as well. I've met him too. 69 Phuket. Jews have more hair. Well, Jews, I think maybe it's part of their fashion. I mean, genetically, Jews are not a distinct group. They're not a distinct racial group. Okay, a couple of Roger Salscaber, Ben Emlyn Jonas. Okay, Tink123. Humanity wakes up, realizes they have the power instead of falling for mainstream media lies. You're looking well, my friend, says Phil. Do you mean me? Okay. James 78-ish. Hello, James. Great stuff, Ben. Oh, good. How are you? Purple is royalty, says Dagger Spells. Hello, Daggers. Almond Adams in a wrapper of Cadbury dairy milk chocolate. Purple is the royal colour. Yeah. Faisal Iman Pak says, rather than wasting money on missiles, why don't you Americans provide home for homeless Americans? Well, that's it, isn't it, Faisal? Well, that's the lyrics of that song. We can afford to pay money for go to war, but we can't afford money to feed the poor. Yeah. It is true. When it's something they want to spend money on, it's blank check, isn't it? Blank check situation. Okay. America's a poor country. It is. Yeah, there's people sleeping on the roads. Phil Hainsworth. Still waiting for you to come back to Nottinghamshire, my friend. I'd love to, Phil. I split up with Sue Stain, so it's a bit more difficult than it used to be. But, what's this? Hang on. Someone wants to talk to me. I can't talk now. I'm doing the live stream. Mel is in need of a restart. Okay. Robbie Diablo. Ben, love what you do. Keep up the good work, brother. Thank you, Robbie. I will. Magma. What I thought no politician was invited to the royal wedding. I don't know. I think some of them are. We'll find out. We'll find out when it happens, I guess. Anthony Morn. Trump says jump, and the UK and France say how high, sir. Anthony, it's not Trump. It's the globalists. And Trump is a slave to the Illuminati, says Stephen. That's it. Yeah. It's Trump will be our savior, says Neil. We won't realise it until years after the event. Well, that's it, Neil. I'm thinking, I'm hoping something's going on behind the scenes right now, and he's trying to deal with it. I really do. Reality Rebel. Let me start by saying, feck Trump and me. Okay. David Schultz. The media's most powerful entity on earth. Yeah. Tink. Magma. 100% agree. Royal wedding, lie, shame. The bloodline Illuminati ritual. Right. I've done an entire video on the royal wedding, and I'll do another one closer to the time. Maybe I might even do a live stream or a live video recording, you know. TK Snugs. Oh, he's not, is he? His beats aren't in the house. He better not be. I'm getting rid of him if he is. Arcane Rhythm says Trump's getting his balls felt, basically, and it's not by Stormy Daniels. Well, he's the one who likes grabbing things, isn't he? You can't get more elite than Trump. Oh God, yes you can, Reality Rebel. Trump may be rich, he may be successful, but he's just a commoner. He's on the same level as the rest of us as far as the elite are concerned. Eman Puidima. Hello, Eman. I thought it's weird YouTube's shooting character could have been a bit of a psychological op against Iran. And 69 Phuket says, conspiracy stuff is a real dirge. Dagger spells. He's not a billionaire out of thin air. You can't BS a bullshitter. Fuck it. I'm pushing 50 and I'm tired. Okay. Well, I won't be much longer because I've been on an hour and a half now. I was on almost 2.5 hours on Friday night. I won't go on that long. Ting, to break the real glass ceiling of the elite 1%, you have to be in the bloodline, and it's the rituals that bind them together. That's true. You can't just get in there. It's you, because they will. The elite, it's bloodline. You grow up with it and you go through the rituals which bind you. This is why you can't just join them and then expose them. Magma, I think the military are making arrests. There's a civil war going on behind the scenes. I bloody hope so. Yeah, I really do, Magma. I really do. Reality Rebel. Just like Bojo, Trump is a good actor or crap actor. No, he's not. The Bill 999. Hi, Bill. Sandra. Hello, Bet. Hello, Sandra. Where are we? Ben, give me a shout out, as I don't think the live message is working. Neil Dundon, it is working. Don't worry. 69 Phuket. Ben, you look like a snake. Trump has sanctioned war. I know. It's sad. Brussels Broadcasting Company. Yeah. That's true. Very pro-Ramona, aren't they? David Schultz. The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. Yes, they do. Magma. He's very tough and resourceful. That's Trump. He is. If anyone can pull it off, he can. Mel O'Brien says, once upon a time in a distant part of the galaxy, there was a planet of rock and water ruled by the evil forces, Akala, the Thieves' Banquet. Is that something from Game of Thrones? I've never watched a single episode, believe it or not. David Schultz, because they control the mind of the masses, Malcolm X. Malcolm X is quite right there. Oh, Malcolm Little, to give him his real name. Reality Rebel. If you follow the elite paedophile ring, they cover up faster than a down plane. Yeah. Stephen Bamber, you'll have to ban me as well because Trump is Illuminati. Stephen, I'm not going to ban you because you think Trump's Illuminati. People are allowed to disagree in this Spurg chat. All I don't want people doing is trolling. You know. Diego's ban's expired now, so they can come back if they like. Royalty babies, yes. Trump has been watching too many Steven Seagal movies. Bill, Ben, do you support Trump? Yes, I do. Tink, reality connects everyone behind everything. If you look, TK, the poor kids who've got chemical gas or whatever on TV now. Personally, they look like they just maybe got like a bit of soap in their eyes. You know, the doctors were washing their faces with a hose pipe, like a garden hose. Trump seems to have always been strongly Zionist. No, I don't think he has, actually. Mel O'Brien. After the first attack, Russians hit a base in Syria, killing a number of Americans, British and Saudis. Is that right? Wasn't reported in the mainstream. Is that true? Emperor Mong. I trumped in my trousers and it smelled like an old swan. Are you from Nottingham, Emperor Mong? Because Trump means fart in Nottingham. Mel. Tink, sadly, no one believes anything I say. Brab, are you a reptilian shapeshifter, Ben? No, I'm not. If I was, I would deny it. Phuket, flat Earth and no fuel. Oh, it's the airplanes again, isn't it? Yeah. Villanora, yeah, you can be gassed with a nerve agent and do a TV special. Daggerspell, he's not. All right. James 78ish. Hi, Ben. Great stuff. Hi, James. Neil Dundon, communists and Nazis are really both the same thing. Come on, mate, Shaman. Actually, all right, Deal. That's not entirely true. All right, that was a bit of a hyperbole. I didn't mean that, so I shouldn't have said that. Sorry. Dagger spells. Rab, he's not. BBC have been on my ass since the Elite Pedo Ring documentary didn't take too kindly to my opinion of it. Reality Rebel. Trump is in the swamp. Well, he is now, Stephen. Yes, that's the problem. Bill Swoonter. It seems Ben loves the wealthy over those on the minimum wage. Really? How'd you work that out? I don't love people because of how much money they have. Drill on oral. Lock bang rub. Tink, Mary, okay, that's a bit something you've had said to each other. TK, when you mix up high-level interdimensional energies with normal bomb type stuff, you kind of dilute the message into nothing. Did you keep warm during the hyped up snow, buddy? Oh, just about, yeah. Is it cool to support the war? Well, it is getting like that. Grim Wriggler, hi Grim Wriggler, nice to see you again. It's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine. Yeah, and I love that's a great song. That it's the end of the world as we know it. Bill Swinita, do you like John Major? No. Mel O'Brien, kids try to keep the comments at least semi-intact. I know. Oh, blimey. Normal with slow FPS video stream. Okay. Where are we going now? There's a few small comments. There's a long comment here. Anthony Morn, I don't understand, Ben. How come Trump's family are in danger? Because Trump, it's the only way they can make Trump do as they tell him. I don't know this is certain. This is speculating, but I think that's the only way they could get him to do this. He's not going to be scared of threats to his own life. But look at him. Look at his family. Look at his grandchildren. Look at his young son. He's got a massive amount to lose. Reality Rebel. Is anyone shocked a politician lies to get votes? No. Trump is a billionaire worth 10 billion, but I would want 20 billion. Yeah, he is. But so what? I mean, Alex Jones is doing the same thing as Ben. What? He's sitting here talking calmly, Stephen, or what? What am I and Alex Jones doing the same? Okay. Eamon Padima. Ryan Dawson says that Kushner followed that Ivanka Trump married is to blackmail his own brother after recording him having sex with a prostitute. So Dawson thinks Trump was got to through Ivanka. That's possible. I think it's probably a lot worse, something worse than that. I still think that probably wouldn't cut any ice with him, you know. I mean, he survived that Stormy Daniels thing. I suspect it's something worse. I suspect it is something like the death of his family. Where are we? David Schultz. Hi, David. The media's most powerful entity on earth. Yeah. Bill Swinita, your fans are disturbing. There's some weird ones in there, I must say. Do you still like Trump? Yes, I do. Do you find Trump amiable? I don't know him. Magma. No, Trump is not a puppet and has not been compromised. Well, Magma, I think he himself has, in terms of his personality and his will, has not been compromised, but his behavior has been. He has not. I still think his heart is in the right place and he wants to do good and he's going to try and do good, but he's not going to sacrifice his family to do that. It's got to be. Ben, do you still use Orgonite? I remember a few years back you made videos on the subject. I've got some Orgonite here. It's got to be there. That's a bit of Orgonite, see? So I still have some. Ben, is Trump an alien? If so, what type? I don't know. I don't think he is. Anthony Bourne, I told you why I think Trump's family is in danger. They'd have found something worse than a porn star. Yes, says Magma. Call me dipshit. Oh, that's if you insist. And DJ Blackwell or Henry, do you come to Killington often? Let me know when you're down the pub there. All right, D. Well, send me an email, bennyj74@gmx.co.uk. We'll get in touch. And don't forget, Dreaming Saucers. Come to Dreaming Saucers on the 12th and 13th. Rab, spill the beans on the NHS, Ben. I don't have any beans to spill, unfortunately. Apart from my own experience there. Magma, as a Trump supporter too. Good for you. Diego Rivera, you're now unblocked. It's a limited thing, okay? But you were just trying to wind up Kev Baker, and I wasn't going to have any more of it. And you kept asking me if I support Trump, and I say yes, I am. So you don't have to ask me that again, okay? I brought it. Unity and Magma doesn't agree and says that at high level they have worse skeletons in the cupboard. Yeah. Diego McSphinx does his pack, says Emperor Mong. Magma. Hospital Porter, stop the New World Order. That's it, Magma. Good for you. How many times did you meet Savile, says Rab? I've never met Jimmy Savile, I'm glad to say. 69 Phuket just regurgitates the same shit. Well, me? DJ Blackwell says, Alex Jones has lost it all. Lol. InfoWars is nothing like it was a few years, just an advert now. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, DJ, I do feel upset with the way InfoWars has gone. Thing about Alex Jones is he's basically he's left behind a lot of the conspiracy sphere, actually, and he's basically gone alt-right, which is a mistake. Not that the alt-right is evil and nasty, racist, etc., but it just doesn't give the whole story, and Alex has abandoned the whole story, it feels like. Hi, Jeff Hinley. How are you? Bill Swinington. Do you support Macron? No, I don't. Why would I support that clean-shaven, skinny little globalist whoopsie who's that mind-controlled robot who's controlled by his bloody school teacher, who's his wife? Why would I do that? The French people had an opportunity to. Well, I mean, obviously they're going to try and rig the election, but they could have had Marine Le Pen, and instead they've got this bloody Macron, this horrible little squit, he's eating out of the EU's hand. He's got the globalist dildo up his bottom. I mean, no, I don't support Macron. Diego Rivera. Now I know the answer. Ben supports Trump. Yes. We got there in the end, Diego. You don't have to ask me that question again now, do you? Mary, as says Tink, the days of Noah, blood sacrifices, chimeras messing with divine DNA. Oh, you've been to Peasmore, obviously, Tink. DJ Blackwell, Trump is a puppet being controlled. He is, but he's trying not to. He's trying to cut his strings. I wish him luck. I really do. Diego Rivera believes Bigfoot lives in England. Yes, I do. I've made a video explaining why. Okay. Jones is a shill, says Phuket. Another one who's a shill. Oh, they're all shills. Your mum's behind. Quit fapping. Put away, man. Jeez, what? Hunley, you'll crack me up. Neptune returns. Hi, Neptune returns. Breaking news. Diane Abbott is going to Syria to be a human shield. Maybe the war's not such a bad idea after all. Have they got any more missiles they can fire? Mary 44. The fire at Trump Tower was a smokescreen for when Trump's attorney's office was raided. Really? What do you mean? So do you think they were trying to destroy evidence or something? All right. What's that about, do you reckon? Is it part of this secret civil war? Diego Rivera, I checked your channel. You're a good man, Stephen Bamber. I agree. Stephen is a good man. I like Stephen. Reality Revel, they tried to drop 100 plus bombs. 70, yeah, they did mention 70 got shot down. Bill Swinington, Mogg is a cunt. No, Jacob Rees-Mogg is a good guy. He is the British Donald Trump. I just hope, though, that what happened to Donald Trump doesn't happen to him, which it probably will. I mean, as I said on the last live stream, being a decent politician, being a politician who's got a brain in his head, a heart in his chest, and balls in his trousers, has got to meet one of the most difficult and dangerous jobs in the world. It really does. It's the ultimate jewel in a dung heap situation. It really is. 30-minute comment catch-up, says 69 Phuket. Let's see what I can do. This is just for you, all right? 30-minute comment catch-up. Will that do? Okay. How can Trump be cool, says Stephen Bamber? Oh, well, he is. He is cool. Bill, have you ever been to South Sudan, Ben? No, I haven't. But I live with two men who actually come from that area. Well, they come from, I don't know if it's from South Sudan or North Sudan, but they do come from somewhere in Sudan. They're nice guys, actually. They're nice guys. Bill, Hunley, do you need to lie down? I don't know. You're right. Diego Rivera, Ben, do you still claim to be an alien? Oh, I'll have to come back to that. All right, I'll just have to come back to that. More later, as they say. Stephen Bamber, that's a pipe dream, Ben. Oh, what do you mean, Stephen? Sorry, these comments are behind what I'm basically talking about, I think. Where are we going? Tink, I was one child every 5 minutes goes missing internationally. Yeah, that's true. Glowtone. Hello, Glowtone. Have you watched Gary Heseltine's talk at UFO Denmark yet? No, I haven't, Glow, but I know Gary. In fact, I interviewed Gary for my radio show, and I broadcast the interview last week. I'm going to his conference, both his conferences coming up. E-Man, there's a lot of Jews involved in propaganda and deception. That doesn't mean it's the Jews, but their role is undeniable. No, they're not. If there are Jews involved in propaganda and deception, yes, but there's also men who wear glasses involved in propaganda and deception. There are men who grow moustaches who are involved in propaganda and deception. They're not involved in propaganda and deception because they're Jews. I've done an entire video. It's called Jews. Do watch it. I explain it. Smirk to the camera, says 69 Food Cat. Smile for Zuckerberg, says DJP2. Yeah, I just maybe I tell you what, they just old Zuckerberg. He was being grilled by Congress the other day. He has actually reinstated Diamond and Silk. I'm really pleased about that. If you watch Diamond and Silk on YouTube, they're brilliant. There's these two sort of middle-aged black women, they're sisters, and they're so cool. They're really pro-Trump, but they're so funny and they're so eloquent. Tink, the Jews you see today are not the real Jews. That's right, Tink. And when I say the Jews are not behind the New World Order, I'm using code for saying the Jews are behind the New World Order. Yeah. Diego Rivera, Ben, do you still claim to be an alien? Diego, I'll answer that in a future video. Spoon Clank. Oh, that was me, I think. Yeah, that's when I put my coffee cup down. How come none of you have asked me what that bucket is behind me, over my shoulder there? Sorry, this is this shoulder. That one. None of you have asked me what that bucket is for, have you? You going to ask me? Maybe you should. Because everyone wants to know what that green bowl is back there. That green bowl up there. Everyone kept asking me what it was for. In the end, I told you. Right. Globe Earth. Oh, my goodness. You're not another globalist, are you? Oh, I've lost my place again. Oh, bloody hell. Hang on. Oh, she wouldn't do this. Cosmic Claire's there. Oh, hello, Cosmic. I'm just going to go back because I've lost my bloody place. It keeps slipping. It just keeps slipping. Oh, God. Where are we? Oh, all right. Oh, I think I'm there. Okay. I don't think I've lost any comments there. We live in a postmodern world, says John Daniel. Virtue signaling, pathological altruism. We need to make a global class against Facebook. Yeah, okay. That's child slaves on Mars, Ben, says Diego. Diego, you may have seen what I said about that in my... I have talked about that. The child slavery on Mars thing. Do you remember that they had that guy on there and Alex Jones shut him up because he doesn't want to be associated with that sort of thing anymore. I did a video about that. Did you see it? I put it on VidMe, but it's on YouTube now. So there is a video about the child slavery on Mars thing, and it is on YouTube. When they shut down VidMe, I put it on YouTube. Trump is not cool, says Stephen. Yes, he is. Really pleased you got into these live streams, Ben, says Jeff. Thanks, Jeff. I like them, actually, because it means I can respond quickly. And it's much easier to make these. There's less editing involved, and it means I can talk to you guys live, and you can respond in chat. Bill Swinito, why are you a pro-lifer? Surely, why am I pro-life? That's a question which needs a massive amount of explanation, Bill, and I don't have time to do one now. I'm sorry, but I am a pro-lifer. Yes, I hope that in Ireland they keep the 8th Amendment. But that's a big subject. Maybe I'll do that nearer to the time when they have the referendum on the 8th Amendment. Okay. Jago Rivera. Well, that is what... All right. Ben, do you still claim to be an alien? I'll answer that another time. Jago, you don't have to keep asking me the same questions over and over again. I will answer them, okay? Okay. Oh, I do go through all the comments, okay, as many as I can. So Maybe ask me 3 times and I'll see one of the times you ask it. You E-Man, Ryan Dawson suggested we have a general strike to protect us to bombing in Syria. Do you really think that's going to happen? I mean, look at the. Unfortunately, the people are just so dumbed down and they're so docile. Their brains have been addled by aspartame and fluoride. Their attention is drawn to soap operas and reality TV. I don't want to sound conceited here, but I mean, this is a nation of sheep. And look at the truth movement. The truth movement, the people who don't have the excuse of ignorance. Look what they're doing. They're desperately going around all over social media saying as many nasty things about Larry Warren as they possibly can. And these are the people who are supposed to be leading the rebellion against all this. I mean, I'm really losing hope. I really am. More so now than ever before. We're not going to have a general strike, man. We won't have a general strike. I mean, it's hard to get people to do anything now. There's so much casualization. Everyone just wants their wages. They can go home and like get sozzled or go and play computer games or something to forget where they are. TK, I was speaking to a ghost earlier and it said it was coming to get you later tonight. This is like the Christmas Carol, isn't it? Humbug. Okay. Trump is not invited to the royal wedding. Obama has been, said Jeff. That's right. Diego Rivera, child slaves on Mars, Ben. Diego, check out my video on the subject, okay? Zuckerberg, more about Zuckerberg. Is it Savile version 2, is he? Oh, man. The thing is, Zuckerberg has let back in Diamond and Silk because there were so many protests, because people were just so fed up with the way that he was treating this thing. Bill Swinner, do you support the Falklands War? That's going back in a while, isn't it? That's a big subject. That goes into, you see, the whole Falklands War thing was about, it was very complicated. It was all about the oil field there and about the black goo as well on Southern Fuel. So that's a big subject. Mars Johnston's covered it in detail. David Griffin has done a lot on that. Okay. Magma, I think it's always been the case that whoever you vote for, the government always gets in. But this time it's been different when Trump's been concerned and Brexit. Yes, Magma, that's the 2016 effect. And I really thought that was a wonderful time when we had the 2016 effect. It meant a massive amount. Kev is okay. Kevin Baker is fantastic. Phuket. Here we go. Mel O'Brien, save the seals, abort the babies. Abortion referendum in Ireland coming up. It looks like the baby killers will win. So baby, I hope not. I mean, I'll say more about that nearer the time, Mel. Okay. But I don't know what's going to happen there. That's a big subject, the whole the Eighth Amendment thing in Ireland. I'll do a special video on that and cover it, or I'll write an article too. Villanora, my father was in the Falklands War. All right. Is he all right, Villan? Hope he came back okay. And did he know anything about the black goo? I don't know. Neil Dundon, targeting civilians during the Bold War. Yes, gold during the Iraq War. Yes. I mean, it's a big subject, but there's a massive amount was done there. There's a massive amount about the carpet bombing and things like that. Fallujah, stuff like that. Definitely was. Hunley, go to the participants and pick a couple of people trust and give them moderator status. I don't know. I'll think about that, Hunley. Bill Swoonter, there's some maiden heads trying to eat your bed. I don't know what that means. Vrillon, was it? We did target civilians in Iraq? Well, not us. The globalists did. It wasn't British and Americans. It is globalists at the long run. Okay, yeah, there was an attempt to exterminate large amounts of the population. It wasn't just during the actual military involvement in Iraq. It was during the previous few years as well. The decade during when they were actually bombing water. They were bombing things such as sewage farms and reservoirs and waterworks and things like that to try and prevent people getting fresh water. They cut off medical supplies. They poisoned farms. They blew up railways and things like that. It was all kinds of things they did to try and basically they put Iraq under siege. Oh, right. Okay. Mel O'Brien, I saw pictures of one of the main highways during the Iraq War. It was littered with civilian vehicles and blown to bits. They were blowing people up left, right, and centre. Yeah, I mean, you know what, the highway of death, that was in the first Gulf War, but that was terrible. That was a retreating army, but they killed them all. It was a massive, a terrible attack. Diego Rivera, what about your alien microchip, Ben? Well, that thing in my arm, yeah. I'll have to. I'm not doing anything about that at the moment. It's just not. I'm just maintaining the situation right now. There we go. Where are we going? Right. Goonlove. Hi, Goonlove. Great vid, says Ben. You poke a bear before it bites. You can only poke the bear before it bites. Yeah. Definitely. Let's make Panwo great again. I'll get the hats printed. Stephen Bamber. Flash Gordon is coming to save us. Oh my goodness me. So we have to wait for some guy wearing tights, do we? Bill Swinninger, do you support Marcello Rebello de Sousa? I don't support any Scottish people. Phil Hainsworth, live stream it, Ben. Oh, right. Is that the royal wedding? All right. Oh. Diego Rivera, Ben is a member of the Chita Uri. Cosmic Claire, hey, it's Cosmic Claire. Hi, Claire. Even if Trump did Syria because he was concerned and forced to, I would never see him lose his own agency, even if they screw him badly. He will try to find a way to fight back. I hope so, Claire. I really do. That's what I'm really, really thinking about now. Bill Swinter, you are slow-witted, Ben. All right. Oh my. Armand, I need time for bed. Yeah, fair enough. I'm doing my own video work about the homeless bus in Brighton. Hey, well done, Armand. Good for you, mate. Good for you. I like the Avengers movie, says Hunley. Yes, I do. I'm about one of the few people in the world who like that film. I think it's very colourful. I think it's very, very entertaining. And I thought I did think it was pretty good. I think it's a very underrated film. Bill Swoonter, Ben votes for the Tories, I reckon. If Jacob Rees-Mogg becomes Conservative leader, I'll vote Tory. I will. Ben claims to be an alien, says Diego, a member of the Chitauri. Yeah, right. Where are we? I'm getting tired now. Carla's a British rapper burned by the mainstream. Okay, that's it. Well, it must be good then. AAG, Bill coming in late, Ben. Hi, AAG. How are you? I wish more people were aware of the Illuminati, says Mary. Yeah. Deborah Hatswell. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. Nice to see you. Glowtone says, Ben, have you watched? Yes, I've watched. I haven't watched the Denmark one with Gary Heseltine, Glowtone. I haven't. But I know Gary, and I've watched a lot of his stuff. But I will check that out. I will check that out. Is it on YouTube? Where are we? Where are we now? What do you think of the Suez crisis, says Bill? I don't know enough about it. I know it happened a long time ago. I know it was sometime in the 1950s, wasn't it? A long time ago. I don't know much about it. Ben just did a 666, says Stephen. What do you mean? What did I do? Oh. What do you think of JFK, says Bill? Well, I think he was shot by a conspiracy. It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald was innocent. That's why they killed him, because he. There we go. Okay. IAG, Trump's not going to change a thing. He's bought and paid for. No, he's not. He's not bought and paid for. I don't think he is. I think he is going to try and change things. Diego, Ben and Stefan would make a lovely couple. No, good grief. No, we'd end up killing each other. Even if we were both gay, which neither of us are, there'd be murder done, I swear. There would be. The moment he turned to me and said, not an argument, Ben, when I tell him to go and clean my shoes, and then he goes on about universally preferable behavior and sexual market value and resources, I'd shove his head down the bog until he drowned, until his little ginger freckled scalp was covered in shit. There we go. It's like that stalker on Alan Partridge. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm just a fan, Alan. I'm your biggest fan. Hi, Deborah. You're not weird at all. You're fine. Deborah is speaking at Dreaming Saucers, so get to that if you can. Cosmic Claire. I'm glad you're okay with Trump, Ben. I am, Claire. I mean, I'm disappointed by what's happened, but I don't believe we should give up on Trump yet. Trump can still turn this around. I think he can. John Daniel, R.I.P. Art Bell. Yes, John, exactly. I'd like to dedicate this live stream to the loving memory of Art Bell. Actually, I really would. I'll make a note of that, actually. Yeah. Dedicated to the loving memory of Art Bell. They will never ever make. They'll never make another like Art Bell. I'll tell you, whoever is the maker, they'll never make it. Bill Swunter, can you still debunk thermodynamics? Bill, are you Beats Art? I'm watching you, Bill. I think I've got a feeling you're a troll, and I banned you several times before. If I'm wrong, I apologise. But oh, Deborah, TK wants to know about the Bigfoot. Yeah. But I don't have a papier-mâché life-size model of Ben in my living room. What's? Oh, Deborah's talking about the Bigfoot reports. Yes, that's very interesting. Well, O'Brien, Dr. DeMeo says orgonite should not contain copper or aluminium. Now, what you need to do is talk to several people, such as Leon Southgate. I mean, he's very interesting because he's doing experiments on these things, isn't he? And Cosmic Claire says Alex Jones is too alarmist and gets overexcited. You can say that again. I mean, it's one thing I like about Art Bell. He was always the gentleman, wasn't he? He was always the calm, rational person. He never changed his style. Whereas Alex Jones he was just a shock jock. I mean, not to say Alex Jones was completely useless and rubbish, but he was not as professional as Art Bell. He's not as professional as Art Bell was, I should say. Yeah, someone is blackmailing Trump in some way or another, and I think they're threatening his family. I think that's the only thing that would make him capitulate the way he has. On Mani Padme Hum, says Phuket. Right. Trump has a globalist dildo, but yes, true, Stephen. It's sad that, isn't it? Bigfoot in England could be the Beast of Tunbridge Wells, right? John, I mean, the Beast of Tunbridge Wells is quite something. Yeah, that's a very interesting report. Yes. You should be on the Freaky Friday, says Armand Adams. Well, ask Kev. Kev, I'm sure Kev would love to. I don't want to put words in Kev's mouth, but I know Deborah's exactly the kind of person he'd love on his show. Bill Swinnerton, Mog is a cunt. No, he's not. And Debbie he's talking about the Bigfoot again. Diego, I should warn you, Deborah, that Diego Rivera is something of a massive British Bigfoot skeptic. You know, and is skeptic about most things. It's not like Glenn Vaudrey, who accepts there's kind of like the phenomenon is real, but disagrees over its origins and its cause and its nature. Diego Rivera just thinks it's nonsense, full stop. I first encountered Diego Rivera on my British Bigfoot video. Bill Swinington, what about Justin Trudeau? Do you like him? Justin Trudeau is a clone of Emmanuel Macron. He is. I mean, you look at the two of them. You put them together like that, and you just can't. You can't really tell them apart. Trump backed up the dancing Arabs narrative on 9/11. Did he? Oh. Right, where are we now? Ben, are you running out of ketchup? Well, I've got a little bit left. I mean, it's not. Maybe enough for a bowl of chips or something, but I think I'm going to have to get some more at some point. Still, no one's asked me about that bucket. Unless it's a comment I've not read yet. Did you keep ketchup in your fridge? No, I don't. I've got a fridge in my room, actually, but I don't. Where are we? Yeah, Colin. Wait, are you Pizza Hut? Okay. Mel O'Brien, Save the Whales, Abort the Babies, same people. Well, yeah, that's a funny thing, Mel. I mean, it does seem to be the big feminist left wing stuff, isn't it? It's weird that. And I'll have to do an entire video about the whole abortion thing because it's such a big, complicated subject. It really is. I mean, I'm pro-life. I've said that. That's my basic position. But there's a lot more. There's a lot more to say about that. It's a very, very big subject. Vrillanora, what's the bucket for? Thank you, Vrillon. At last. And I've lost my place again. Oh, bloody hell. Hang on. I've lost my place. Hang on. Oh, where am I? Okay, yeah. Vrillon asked about the bucket. Funny, I lost my place. Right. The bucket, it's actually laundry. I use it for laundry. Okay, I put my dirty clothes in that. Okay. A man's bucket is his own private kingdom. No, it's not for shitting in. I'm not that. I'm not a barbarian. I have a toilet in my house, you know. Well, in the place I share it with two Sudanese guys, but it's perfectly clean. It really is. I like happy smiling Ben. Oh, I try to smile. I do. Where are we? There's a hole in my bucket. Yeah. What's the bed for, Ben? Oh, well, for sleeping in. I wish it was for more than that. I must say. God, blimey. I don't want to bore you with my problems. How long till disclosure, Ben? I don't know. It seems to be getting further and further away. But generally, that may just because I'm in a very pessimistic mood right now. That's how I feel. You know. The Jew thing. Please watch my video, Jews. All right, I go into the whole business with Jews there. I don't accept that Jews are responsible for the New World Order. Watch the video. I explain why. There seems to be a delay when Betten gets to read the message. Well, I'm scrolling down. You know, I'm trying to catch up. Glad you. Where are we? Right. Glad you're a pro-lifer, Benny. Good on you, Claire. I am definitely. Theresa May looks like a corpse. Well, maybe she is a corpse, and maybe she's a zombie or a clone or something. I mean, it's funny, these people, when they get into power, they get into positions of power, it seems just like it saps their life energy from them. Look about how US presidents age. You can see it most with Obama. Like, you compare, he was only in power for 8 years. He aged about 28 years in those 8 years. Look at Gordon Brown. When he became prime minister, he was a quite reasonable middle-aged chap, black hair, you know, fresh-faced guy. At the end, he's like hanging over like this. One eye's down there, the other's up here. He's like, oh, you know. He's in a terrible state. Bill Swindle. Richard Dawkins is standing behind you, laughing at your baseball cap. I'm back to front. Hey, Richard Dawkins. Let me show you one of my books. Here we go. I've got it. Look. I've got a copy. It's one of my guilty pleasures. No one can say I don't read both sides of the story. Oh, hang on. It wouldn't even go back on my shelf. Where are we? Right. Armand Adams, are you off, mate? Okay. See you, Armand. I'll catch the rest of the live feed later. I've got to take my mutt out for a piss, couldn't I? Well, I hope your mutt has a good... Yeah, that's a good reason to go away. Fair enough. Night, Armand. The recording will be up, of course, as always. It's been good for over 2 hours now, but I'll have to... look at the mess. Sea animals, death, pollution for Japan. Oh, that's the whole Fukushima thing, isn't it? Hanley, you need Max says, I do. And where, Hanley, and where? What about the Planet of the Apes film? Oh, that was a bloody... I can't stand that damn movie. And the remake is even worse. Oh, it's... I'm not a fan of that franchise. Be proud of your alien roots, Ben. Yes, I am. What? This, Stephen? I just do this, and that's 666. Really? Mel O'Brien. The Russians and Iranians can close the Suez and Straits of Hormuz whenever they like. It is. It's a choke point leading to the Persian Gulf. But the moment someone does that, then you get a massive war breaking out. You will. This needs to be a hangout. Oh, I've done hangouts with people. I did a hangout with James. What's his name? James Cox. Do you remember that? There's a link on. I put a link up to it years ago. This years ago, I did one with James Cox, but that was very interesting. I like talking to James Cox. Flat Earth. Oh, was Art Bell a flat earther? I don't think he was he? Yeah, I think he. I miss Reflex. Oh my gosh, Bill. You better not be beats up. Okay. Organised wrong and a fraud. No, it's not. A lot of little foresting Tunbridge Wells. That's Emperor Mong. That's where they saw the Bigfoot. Deborah will tell you all about that. Art Bell was a wonderful being. I loved his show, says Phuket. Yes. I'm just going to look at this channel. I'm looking at Bill Swoonty's channel because I'm a bit concerned about who he is, he or she. It's a completely blank channel. No uploads, no subs, no faves. Who are you, Bill? There we go. Ben's pissing into a bottle. No, I'm not. That's disgusting. I go to the toilet. Do you poo in your bed? No. And I've lost my place again. Oh, hang on. Oh, where am I? Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, I've found my place again. Where are I? Villanora. Was it Stalin or Lenin that locked up Reich? Wilhelm Reich Villan was actually jailed in the United States. It's a long story, but basically he was locked up. Yeah. No, I don't poo in my bed. Look at me, I'm a grown man. Reich had to say, yeah. Well, Reich was Wilhelm Reich was actually very interested. He was a bit sex mad, even for a psychoanalyst. You know, he was. It's a big subject, but yeah. The bucket is for saving Trump out of a swamp. No, you don't want to see it's in that. It's my dirty clothes in that bucket. I put them in there because I put the lid on just because if they smell, and I take them to the washing machine and I wash them. But I only have one washing machine and there's 3 of us, so I sometimes have to keep them for a while. That's why I put them in that bucket there. All right. There's a head in that bucket, says Deborah. Oh my goodness, yeah. No, only if someone really annoys me, they might end up in there. Disclosure will never happen, says Anthony. Oh dear, Anthony. I'm beginning to think maybe you're right. All right. Deborah, I know the Bigfoot thing is really interesting. Yeah, it really is. Neptune says the bucket is full as 100% pure cocaine. I'm a Yale pusher. I wouldn't let you see it. Oh, single, no exceptions, no. Bill, he lives in our house rent free. Adds our son brain. I do not. I don't live with you. Unless you're. Are you Ahmad Al Hossan? I don't think so. E-man, the God delusion was outdated when it came out. Now even atheists like Sam Harris and Susan Blackmore are moving past simplistic material. Well, Sam Harris is sort of like very open-minded. He's like a Buddhist and he does meditation stuff. Susan Blackmore, as far as I can see, is still like renter skeptic, as she says. Emperor Mong. Disclosure will happen. Oh, buddy. Oh. I keep losing my place. Hang on. Okay. Disclosure will happen, says Emperor Mong, when the UK gets Brexit. it probably, that, believe it or not, may be one of the things which does give us Brexit, you know, ironically, because the Brexit Trump thing are both very, very not what was actually intended. So yeah, I mean, I think if we get Brexit, that's a good sign. If it actually goes through. Bill says Ben is a hollow earther. No, I'm not. I used to be. I'm not anymore. Better than a hollow hearter. Yeah, Dow too right. Forget 400 years of slavery. Oh, slavery is a universal thing that has been going on throughout human history since the Illuminati took power. We're all slaves still. It's just our chains are not shackles on our wrists. The chains are in here. The chains are in our heads. The human mind is the battleground of the 21st century, as George Orwell very rightly predicted. IAG. Bramley Baxter. Oh, IAG's Bramley Baxter. Hello, Bramley. Thank you for joining us. Bill, I mean, I have spent time talking about Syria. The whole point of this live stream is about Syria, but I began this live stream with a whole list of details about Syria, and primarily we've been talking about that since then. But I'm happy to talk about other subjects as well. That's quite okay by me. Bill needs a bucket to keep. That's very witty, Deborah. Yes, Bill, I suspect is someone. I'm a bit suspicious of Bill, actually. I think I know he's somebody who's actually someone I banned a long time ago. Good night, Diego Rivera. See ya. Okay, where are we? Russia promises confidence. Oliver Dent. Hi, Oliver. Phuket. UFOs and shit were a diversion. No, they weren't. No. Anthony, I live in hope for disclosure, but it won't happen, Ben. You know, Anthony, as I said, I'm in a bit of a dour mood at the moment. I'm thinking not, but I mean, that might change. But right now, you know, I believe in that. I like the story of the guy with the ring on his finger that says, "This too will pass." That famous parable of the king who says, "I want to feel happy when I'm sad and sad when I'm happy," and stop, you know, going vacillating from these extremes. And so the wise man gives the king a ring, and on the ring is written, "This too shall pass." And I hope it will pass soon. I want it to pass soon. Mardi Milan says night. Okay, no night. I'm Hungary. You Hungarian, Maradi? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Bramley Baxter. I'm very well, thank you. I hope you are too. No space, only a dome. Oh, Phuket, you're a flathead, are you? Don't worry, I don't mind flatties. I've got friends who are flatties. I'm happy to debate it. I did a whole radio show about flatties, about the flat Earth thing. But no. Bill is Major Troll City. Yeah, Neptune. I've got a feeling I know who Bill is, and I'll find out if I come back on the next live stream. I think I've got a feeling I know what it is. I will find out. I've nearly run out of sauce. Yes, I have. I'll have to buy some more. Would you like to work for Trump, Ben? Says Rab. Only if I would never assist him in any of the deceit that he's carrying out, any of the lies, and any of the destructive things that he's done. I would only work for him in order to help him break free from that. We're no better than a sweatshop in Cambodia. No, I mean, the good thing about being in a sweatshop in Cambodia, Phuket, is you know you're in change. It's not you don't think you're free, and you don't live in enough luxury to actually maintain that illusion. If we all lived in the equivalent of if we were all in equivalent of overt sweatshops in Canada, there'd be a revolution tomorrow. Anthony Morn, the mothers of invention. Do a Hangouts. Yeah, I've been on Hangouts before. I'd love to do another one. Zappa's last percentage is a bit low. Is that Frank Zappa? It goes right to left, Iran, Iraq, Yemen, Syria. The pipeline path, says Jeff. That's true. Yes, the pipeline is a big thing. Do a Hangout with Slaxer. I'd love to, although I don't know. I've done radio interviews with Slaxer. He's been on her Panama Radio. I did 3 shows with him, actually. I love Slaxer too. I really do, Hunley. What do you know about holographic tech, Ben? Says Rab. I don't know. Bill Swoonter, blimey, rhymey. What about Droik? Are you Droik? Who's Droik? Emperor wrong. Moaning gets Slaxer. Slaxer is he's kind of like he's I like Slaxer, but he is something of a pessimist, and but I like his insights on life are very interesting. But to be honest, I'm becoming more pessimistic. I'm getting more Slaxer-like. I think in the last couple of years, I've been very, very Slaxer-like. Certainly the last year, since 2016 and stuff like that. It's yeah, we are slaves. Yeah. You've caught up, Ben. Nice one. I think I have actually. Discovery Channel did an experiment, says John Daniel, on a lake with a boat and a laser beam, which showed the lake was curving further away from you and not. Yeah. Slaxer is an old curmudgeon who looks like Elton John. Mel O'Brien. When I sailed from Cork, the building sank into the sea. When I arrived at New York, the buildings rose out of the sea. No flat Earth. It's true, Mel. I mean, you can actually see. You don't need to go into space to see the Earth as a sphere. It's simply you see it from the ground. You can stand on Skegness Beach and look at the wind farm out at sea. You can only see the top half of the turbines because they're hidden by the curvature of the Earth. Bill, I used to be a woo, but now I've been a skep longer than a woo. Same as yes. Phil Hainsworth says, when and where you going to do your next video, pal? Tell you what, Ben, I found a good location. I can pick you up and take. Oh, thanks. Is that in Nottingham? Because Phil, I'd love to do that. I know we've been talking about that, haven't we? I do actually have some normal videos to show you, which I filmed over the last couple of weeks. I filmed some when I was away. I've got a recording of my speech at Weird Weekend. There's going to be a high quality version of that too. And I did another video the other day. I haven't. The only reason I haven't edited them and upload them is because of this Syria thing. But I will edit. I'll try and edit them and upload them before next week before Thursday when I go away. I'm actually I'm going away to Newcastle on Thursday. Yes, it's a real jet-setting lifestyle I live, isn't it? Well, actually, coach setting. I'm going with National Express. But I'm actually going to go and see Richard D. Hall's show live in Newcastle, which is on the Friday night. But on Thursday night, I'm actually doing a live show for some people who've gone there to see Richard, and I'm kind of like warm-up act for Richard, I think. But it's not something I can invite anyone to. It's not something I can advertise because it's a private event at somebody's house, and only people, friends, and that can come along. So it's something I can't actually advertise. I'm doing a private show at a private location. And on Saturday, they've got something else planned. So I'll be back on Sunday. But I do hope to edit and upload one of my other videos before I go away on Thursday. I do hope to do that. And now, my God, this video has been as long as last Friday night. An hour and 2 hours, 20 minutes. Oh, longer, I think. Slightly longer. And what have I got? All right. Have I been to Truro, says Bill? Yes, Truro? No, I haven't. I've only been to Cornwall a couple of times. I've been to Cornwall. Well, I went to the Royal Navy Centre when I was like 18. I went there to do Royal Navy training. That's just over the river from Plymouth. What's it called? Raleigh, HMS Raleigh. And I went there last year, actually. I went there when I went on my, if you look my Sky Watching in Devon video, I went to Tintagel with Diana, the lady I was with. And we had a lovely time. It's there on the video. You can see it. Neptune. Skeptics are all dweebs and jerks. Now, some skeptics are. I don't mind skeptics. Neptune. I've done a video called Skeptics. It's one of my longest, about 4.5 hours. Do check it out. Magma. I'm a flathead. Ships and things. Oh no, I know Magma. I know you go for the flat Earth thing, and I'm sure we can have a great debate about that. I'm no doubt at all. Phil. Oh, thank you. Phil, I'll have to sort that out with you because I'm going to be a bit busy for the next month or so, but maybe after that I can come up and see you. I'd love to. I know we've been talking about that for a while now. Bill, flat earthers. Now, TK, you know it's Colin, don't you? It is. Honestly, I'll make sure. I think it is. I'll make sure he's not on the next live stream. So, Bill, I know who you are. Don't bother joining the next live stream, okay? Tinky, what's the latest on MC? Oh, right. That's Tink. That's something that is being sorted out. Okay, it is. I'm dealing with this through YouTube and hopefully I'll get it sorted soon. Okay. There's more debate here on the flat Earth thing. Beats Art is a wobble bot. Beats Art is someone I've banned because of his conduct. Not because he'll say I banned him because I couldn't answer all his questions. No, I banned him because of his conduct, his disgraceful conduct. Frederick Gauss's theory on non-Euclidean geometry should round your flat head, says I. All right. That's a typical Bramley Baxterish thing to say, actually. It really is. Can I comment on Simon Parks, says ABC123. I can't really say much at the moment. I mean, I don't know what everything that Simon's doing. I know Simon is dealing with this in the legal way, and I wish him luck. I'll assist him in any way I can. But he doesn't. I don't know everything that's going on. I just know that he's sorting it out, and I've offered to help him. Have I been to Cromer? No. Have I been to King's Lynn? No. Where are we? Right. Bill Swoonter is lost and needs help. Bill Swoonter knows he's in Dover, and he needs no help at all. Hey guys, I need to call it a night. We've been going nearly 2.5 hours. I think we put the world to rights over Syria. I mean, if there's any more news comes along, I'll do anything major happens. I'll do another live stream, because this is a very, very serious situation. It could escalate or it could just die down. We don't know what's happening, but it all depends now on Trump, on what he can do, and whether he can actually get through this or not. I hope he can. I hope he can turn this around. I hope he's got something up his sleeve to turn this around. But thanks, TK. Thank you very much. Good luck, Syria. Yeah, I am too, Anthony. Night, Anthony. Good night and take care. Night, Cosmic Claire. Thank you for posting, all of you. And take care, Bramley Baxter. Thank you. Night, Phil. Night. And see you, Emperor Mong. Thanks very much for posting in the chat box. It's been good talking to you guys this evening. It really has. And you, Mel. Thank you. And Tink. Good night, Tink. Stay safe. Night, Oliver. Take care. Thank you. Live long and prosper, Kismet. It's Kizit, Richard Kizit. Yeah, definitely. Night, Bramley. Yeah, take care, guys. You're great. You are. You really are. Fuck off, Beats Art. Night, Robbie. Take care. And you, it's got to be. I will let you know. I'll always post notices when I'm going to do a live stream. Okay, I really will. And I'll let you know in advance. Do the radio show earlier. Now, it's got to be. I had to do it at 9 p.m. and let's same with Friday. But I will do shows earlier if possible. I only do it at 9 p.m. because I had to. Okay. Take care, guys. Okay, I'm going to. You have all been wonderful. It's been great to talk to you, and I'm going to end the live stream now. And the recording will be available in a few minutes. Okay, so take care, all of you. All the best to Donald Trump if you're watching, and I hope you can turn this around. I hope you can sort this out. Exit in Trump.